Yeah, buddies, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm your friend Ron Bennington from the radio. Is Spencer in today?
No, he's not in today.
It's Mick Fleetwood Day. Mick Fleetwood is down the hall.
Damn,
he was just there.
You should tweet. You should text him, not tweet him. I don't know how people tweet. I call text tweets all the time. And
vice versa, I've heard.
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it all is, you know? Well, we got an unmasked to announce in just a couple of minutes. It's a good one. And I think it's for next week, isn't it, Chris?
It is for next week, yes.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for that decisive thing.
It's definitely next week, Rod.
Thank you.
That's when it's going to happen.
Chris does a show called Big Brothers.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on in there. I missed one episode and I felt totally confused.
I even if you had seen one episode, from what I hear, the stuff that is happening live in the house.
What?
Yeah.
Right now and yesterday, I was just checking updates.
Is it a spoiler alert?
I don't know if I would call it a spoiler because it's nothing definitive, but I mean, Vito watches the feeds all day, so.
I watched the feeds for 2 hours last night.
Let me guess. Well, then text me or tweet me or whatever you do. Is Jessica pregnant? Is that what happened?
Oh,
no. She did just get on birth control, and I think they're spreading yeast infection to each other.
Dude, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I want to hear that announced by Julie Chin.
But
by the way, if she lived in my neighborhood, we'd be calling her Julie Chins. Julie Chins, bringing it in.
Yeah, but when I heard what was going on in the house last night, me and my man had like a little conversation like, should we pay for the feeds? And we're like, is this healthy if we just have the feeds on all the time?
Well, you know you can watch it in the middle of the night. I put it on all the time. I think it's Pop TV.
Oh, right. Maybe I should have done that.
Big Brother After Dark on Pop TV.
At midnight, is it?
Yeah, it's midnight to 3.
Yeah. So I just leave it on in the background. And I feel like I'm in the other room listening to the other house guests talking. But let me just ask this. Are they forming alliances?
It's kind of like, I wouldn't say forming alliances.
Are they going to backdoor an alliance?
No, there's not going to be any alliance. There's no backdooring happening.
I think really what's happening is a divide that was there is just gotten greater and more tense.
It was one of the craziest arguments I've ever seen on a live feed last night.
On a live feed?
How many?
On the Big Brother live feed.
No, any live feed. It's crazy.
I saw just 2 clips that people had pulled from just what was going on, and I'm very excited. I don't even know how they're going to cover this stuff.
There's no way they can fit a 3-hour argument on a 1-hour show.
I was just thinking the only other live feeds I've ever watched in my life was when Anthony Cumia used to run it out of his house. And that was like, are you watching this, man? That's bananas. I think it's time to announce our Unmasked. Do we have like a big sounder, or should I just say it?
Oh, we should just say it.
Vito, what happened to the big sounders that we loved?
I don't know what happened to them. We have some great ones, but
I'm going to tell you what happened to it. You're watching live feeds for 4 hours a night.
Damn it.
You need sleep.
And then you know what else is bad for him? He's live feeding himself the whole time.
You don't have to feed during the feeds, dude.
Dude, I was coming back out of the airport, and there was this fucking thing that sold this really nice caramel corn, and there was big cans of them, and I almost bought it. Then I'm like, I already got a fucking bag, and I'm carrying another bag, and what am I going to do? Just have a fucking thing of popcorn? Look like I just got back from the fair like an idiot the whole way in the cab. I'm just like, fuck, man, I could be eating caramel corn right now. I hate myself. All right, what's the date on this, Christopher?
Next Wednesday, August 9th, 1 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios.
1 p.m. I'll be working.
During this Unmasked.
Yes, but what's going to be on the air here? Well, do we go straight live?
What's going to happen, Chris?
It's going to be a soul fire.
We're going to work it out.
Oh, by the way, we didn't bring this up. We played a little Steven to start the show, and that is because this Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday, GPS New Jersey, Jersey Shore premieres 3 p.m. East on Deep Tracks Channel 27.
I liked it better than I thought it would.
Yeah, it was actually a really fun one.
I thought it was going to be Bruce and then take a nap. That's what I thought. But it turned out to be great.
We got the Bruce song, we got the Little Steven song, then we shit our pants and die.
Then we shit our pants and get out of here. But hold on. Wait, I just thought Bon Jovi. Unmasked next Wednesday. This is a great time to take like a little summer vacation for yourself. Come into the city, see all the sights. There's the Liberty Bell. There's the Rocky Steps. You got it all. You know what I mean?
Here.
Joe Coy. Joe
Yeah!
Coy.
Joe Coy! It's going to be a great one.
I had a friend that really liked Joe Coy a lot. And he used to work here, and we used to go, oh boy, it's Joe Coy. Because his gaydar was off, and he thought that Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
He was
And then
cute.
Joe was like, my son said the funniest thing yesterday.
Did he say son? Is that a terminology that we don't know?
Is that like daddy? Joe Coy. Joe Coy. I love Joe Coy.
He's the man.
Well, he's one of the men. I mean, there's a lot of men out there, Chris.
That's happening next Wednesday, August 9th, 1 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets to Joe Coy Unmasked.
By the way, Joe Coy's special is one of the best, if not the best of the year.
Yeah, he's so super funny. And I'm looking forward to it because I've never met Joe Coy.
Netflix this thing. Netflix it. What I like to say is I like to Netflix and chill. Yeah.
I know what that means. That's gross.
Is that something bad?
It's a euphemism for sex.
Then I got to stop saying it to guys.
Yeah. Want to come over to Netflix and chill? No, dude.
I'm like, why am I so unpopular? One of the guys at the coffee shop ever want to come over to Netflix and chill. Everybody at the coffee shop, you know what they said to me? Why are you always drinking iced tea? And I go, because it's chilly. So chilly when I drink it. If I go into coffee shop, I always do this. What do you have that's chilly? And they go, we do have chili. I go, ooh, too hot. Chili's too hot for me. I hate hot foods. And then I start turning around talking to everybody in line.
His character.
What are you getting? Maybe I'll steal it from you. Would you just order? So difficult because I'm going to be stuck with the next half hour with whatever I order.
Does it freak you out when people ask you what's that? That looks good when you're at a restaurant.
I just go taste it. Taste it. You're so fucking into it.
Well, it just happened to us with our green juices.
Oh, a lady on the street.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that? I went to Starbucks and tried to order the same thing, and it was shit, and I threw it out. That's what she said to us. And then we all went, no, God, it's right over there. It's a cart right over there.
You don't see a Starbucks label on this shit. You gotta pay attention, honey.
I ain't been in a Starbucks since 1994. You're a Starbucks person, though, right?
Never.
I call them car fucks.
Okay. No, I never go to Starbucks, and I don't like Starbucks.
One time I shrieked at one of the girls working at Starbucks. What do they call that job? The
barista.
Glad I didn't say what I was going to say. I was going to say prostitute. But
Same thing.
She got my name wrong on it, and I just shouted out, I'll get you fired, and then you'll have no health care. Because that's their big thing. They give part-time workers health care.
Yeah.
Okay, never shuts up about it. I act like a human being to my staff. Well, that's great. In the meantime, we can't get this fucking Trump care passed.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
Just want his care.
They find out if you're sick, they shoot you in the leg. Bob in Florida. Bob.
Hey there. Today would have been Jerry Garcia's 75th birthday, and I bet you the Brooklyn Bowl and Cap Theater your way probably have something special going on tonight.
Why?
Because they both are venues that play a lot of Dead-related acts. Cap Theater there in Port Chester, as well as Brooklyn Bowl.
So there you have it. Jerry Garcia would have been 25 years old today.
75.
25 years old.
25. Okay.
I'll be honest, it's a little weird finding that out because I never listened to the Grateful Dead. And this morning on the way to work, I was like, I'm going to listen to a little touch of Grey.
It's the only song by them I like because I heard it on the radio.
But the song popped in my head for no reason. I played it. I never listened to Dead.
Guess you got your dick out. Well, congratulations to you. And how old would John Mayer be if he was still alive? The new Jerry Garcia. If I was the Grateful Dead, I'd make him wear a gray wig and a little gray beard. Just like kind of gray up his beard a little bit.
Yeah. They have that touch of gray.
Oh, is that the name of it?
Yeah, touch of gray. It's just like a little gray on the side so you don't look too old or too young.
Do you know that if Jesus Christ was alive, he'd be 20,017 years old? And then he spent all his time going like this. I'm going to take some cake home. Used to drive me so nuts when I was a kid that the old ladies would really just chop up the fucking cake and start taking it out the door.
Yeah. Make a huge plate for themselves. They'd always it would be a party that started at noon. They were leaving at 2 p.m.
Yes.
And they were leaving with more food than anybody would consume if they had stayed all night.
Well, they also need another plate for their husband who wouldn't come.
Yeah.
He's not fucking coming, but he gets a nice plate of food for himself.
And then they're taking meat off the table this is for the dogs.
Yeah. And then they would take our good spoon.
Maybe that one was just my great-grandmother.
You're bringing that good spoon back, aren't you? We need that good spoon. Lois, Money Making Manhattan, what's up, brother?
Yeah, what's up, guys? I just wanted to say there is no alliance in Big Brother this year. It's just the fucking cult of Paul. He's just running the house. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's annoying.
He's running a train. That's what he's doing.
I'm gonna say something to you that I believe I've said to Vito Fuck, and I've also said it to his doppelganger, Christopher Moneybags Stanley.
No comment.
I said, Paul needs to either win Head of House or Veto every week. Because the first week he goes up, he's going home. All those people that are following him will get fucking blood in their eyes and blood from their whatever. And they will vote him out. Mark my words.
I don't know, man. That freaking Josh, man. That guy is he's insane. I don't know what he's gonna do.
He's Clemenza.
I never want him to leave. He was driving me nuts at first, and now I never want him to leave. I never
want any of us to leave. I want us all to stay here watching Big Brother live feeds forever. Forever and ever. But what I'm trying to say is this, folks. Paul is Julius Caesar. And the second he is vulnerable, those people who've never once said it alive were like, we can get rid of Paul.
Yes.
And then we can make Josh our king and listen to everything that he says.
I hope they do. That's the only way it would be better. That's the only way. Why is that his go-to song? Is the circus theme?
Maybe. I think he's mocking circus folk.
That's not PC.
He's a bigot.
I think it's also royalty free, so it's one of the only songs he can sing.
That's fucking true. They don't ever let anybody sing.
Yeah, they say to them, stop
This is why
singing.
Big Brothers is must listen to podcasting. That's good.
It's a wonderful program.
They probably told him, look, if you're going to sing anything, do this old fucking circus song. Nobody owns it.
It's a list of approved songs, everyone.
I'd be singing that song the whole day. I'd make up dances to it.
You have that and Bicycle Bill for 2. You pick.
But you can only sing it like the robot from 2001. Fucking scared the shit out of me. That fucking Walter Goggins fucking scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Remember when I said that he was scary and he was like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Motherfucker. God, he's fucking great. And I'll tell you what, I mean, he locked eyes and did his scene. And I'm like, I quit this movie. Walter Goggins. Anyway, we'll be playing that someday. Probably 6 years from now, Chris. Is that it?
September.
That's your joke, Chris.
Chris's idea is to let every en masse age like fine wine.
September.
Okay, buddy. Dawn in Alberta, Canada.
How's it going?
So goddamn good, Don.
First time caller. I listen every day. Love it.
I'm a first time answerer.
I was going to say my girlfriend watches Big Brother like it's going out of style. And ever since the first season, their first episode of this season, man, I got to agree. Paul's just, like Cody said at the beginning, there's alphas in the house, and everybody's just following around like a lost puppy dog.
Yeah, it's a little, it's a little boring, if I'm going to tell you the truth, that there's a lack of thinkers in the house. I mean, yeah, I honestly think that the game's going to be won by somebody in the middle. Maybe that gray-haired guy. I think they call him Gray Bob. And what's his name?
Matt.
Or his dancer girlfriend. Just because, maybe even Kevin, if we're all lucky. But none of them even talk or think about the game that much. Matter of fact, the other night was Dancer Girl's first time ever being shown having an opinion in the diary room. Well, I bought my own dance studio. It's my favorite fucking thing when someone says they own a dance studio. You're literally saying I own an empty room. You own it or rent it?
Some of my responsibilities are sweeping up, and that's it. Just making sure it's nice and swept.
I'm as impressed with someone who tells me they have a dance studio as as I am with someone who says they own storage. I have a storage spot, keeping an old bureau there I got from my grandmother. Just have no room for it, so I'm letting it rot in storage. Boom, 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 boom. J and MISSISSIPPPI. What's up, buddy?
You got it, man.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing all right?
So fucking good, man.
Really
so
solid.
good. Yeah. Just finished my green sludge.
Just wanted to catch back up with y'all. We started watching Ozark this weekend, and oh my God. It's like the Sopranos, the backwoods Sopranos. Great show. Thanks for the tip on that one.
Well, you thank Liz Sets Fire. She gave me the little what on that. She actually wrote to me and said, I got a what for you, motherfucker.
She shouldn't talk to you that way.
That's right, bitch. I fucking videotaped it. I got your shoe. So everybody's stuck at episode 1.
No,
right?
I watched 2 last night. And that is such a good episode. The end of that episode, which I cannot discuss, but the end of it in which the wife drops some knowledge on the family was just like such a crazy way to end the episode.
I'm going to say this. They're the worst parents since me and Gail's mom. Because we were that honest with you children.
Yes.
I don't know why. Kids, this is our girlfriend. But we would... I got to say this. You just do what you do. You know, sometimes you have to tell the kids. Run from Johnny Law.
I had that exact thought. I was like, wow, if that was my family, I would have known before that moment. There wouldn't have been a big drop.
I don't
of
think
knowledge.
it was me fucking saying the truth, though, was it? I don't think I was that truthful.
You were open, but not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I never thought, you know.
You weren't hiding anything.
I never thought this. Let me bounce this off Gail. See what she has to say.
I mean, you never came to me for feedback. No, I would agree with that. What do you think?
Family vote.
What do you think? Is this crazy? Am I just, I don't know.
This is what I would say to Gail when she was about 4. Is this funny? Is this anything?
Someone done this before? This is already a bit.
Is this a tell? Tell me if it's a tell. So many people say that to me. They're like, did it tell do this? Did it tell? And I go, I don't know why you think everyone else is the tell librarian. But I heard Tell does it too.
About himself?
Yeah, well, he'll call people. That's very funny. Did I do this? Am I ripping me off? Am I ripping past me off? I heard a rumor that he when he writes bits, he checks in with a certain person. Maybe they don't want it public knowledge. Dan's out. And says, does anybody do anything like this? Because I think I got...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And he knows Dan covers the waterfront.
Yeah, he knows he's got his ear to the ground.
Which makes him a kind of an uncomfortable comedian. Just up there with his ear to the stage.
Wish he would literally stand up.
Did Justin come back?
Yes, he's in here with me right now.
Well, send him in here with me right now. Instead of you doing your own fucking Big Brother's broadcasting.
Is that what you've been doing in there?
Is he another brother?
Oh, let me say this before I get going. And I'll just say this, the veto fucking fuck. Your fan piece on the iBang, unbelievable.
Thank you.
It's really good,
And that's not me saying that. That is the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival.
It is on the iBang as 15 comedy fans share their favorite JFL moments. And I went around, I got a bunch of people to tell me what their favorite moment was, took a picture of them, and it was really cool talking to all these different people.
It's a really great piece.
I told you, I met a guy here, and him right there, go up one. What's his name? I can't read it from
That's Jody.
Jody I met from Orlando, who said he flew up because he saw me doing stand-up 25 years ago.
Oh, whoa.
And then said, look, I got to go up and see it now.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I worked a crowd at Big J's show, which was a very fun show to do. But great piece. Up on the iBang. Go check it out, everybody. It's Jeff. It's Jeff, not Jody. Why did I fucking I'm sitting here in the back of my head going, I know I met him. I know his name isn't fucking Jody.
It's Jeff.
I asked you to read something.
I got confused. I thought the name was underneath the picture.
I should have went to you, Vito, because you did a great fucking piece, and your Big Brother companion is forming an alliance against you.
Now we know who the evil twin is.
Aaron, what can I do for you, my friend?
How's it going, guys? I just wanted to thank you for the recommendation on Ozark.
That's not me. It's Liz Sets Fire.
What's up?
Liz Sets Fire is the one who found that show, and I'm just...
I'm
the vessel.
Yeah.
I'm the vessel now. But
and my dad, who's in his mid-60s, sat down and watched 8 episodes of that show, and he hates TV.
First of all, I love everything about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
I love a man who
I really like that guy
has
immediately.
not accepted TV by age 65.
Moving pictures?
I'll tell you this, I have a hard time doing week-by-week TV now. And I'm literally taping every Atlanta. I'm at episode 4. It comes on Sunday nights. Mm-hmm. And in 6 short weeks, I'll be binging it.
Yes. I feel the same exact way. I don't like having no control anymore. But then,
do you feel out of control?
I do feel out of control when I have to watch something. Like I said, when I watched Game of Thrones, I watched seasons upon seasons, back to back, then caught up last season. So I watched last season live, and I was like, this is terrible. Mm-hmm. This is an awful feeling to just wait a fucking week for something. It's just awful.
Well, when I was a small boy, it's the only way we had to watch television. And even on then, it was on the radio. TV on the radio. That was my favorite band. Justin, welcome back from...
Welcome back.
Your native Canada.
It's good to be back.
I'm going to get a little rough with you right now, but I want you to know that it's tough love.
Yeah.
You're a fool and you're an idiot for leaving that girl behind.
I know. She loves you guys and
you don't
already misses you guys.
We love her to death.
She is so beautiful and so sweet and funny and smart and like charming to be around. Not just that she's pretty.
And she makes you a better person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's my better half.
First of all, she's your better 3/4. You're 1/4. And this was funny. I said, we fell in love with you last year, fell in love with her this year.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys will have a kid by next year and we'll have a new. But Jen, Vito, Chris, Gail, and I all decided we're going to have sex with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay, right?
Separately.
Yeah,
why separate?
Cool with that, actually.
So gangbang or train?
You're disgusting, Chris.
Well, I'm just saying.
I said it as a joke, and you thought it was going to happen.
You know that I'm related to one of those cars at the train, right? That's gross.
I suggest that we're engine and caboose. Engine! No, we love her as much as we hate Chris. And Chris,
That's a lot.
in October, we're going to start spending your money like there's no tomorrow.
I cannot wait.
I cannot comment on anything.
I have picked out a beautiful pair of gold cowboy boots.
What? Chris, can you get that for him?
It's going to take me a while to walk.
Chris, do you plan on just making it rain on your friends?
I cannot talk about no piss. I can't talk about
But money, yes.
You got plenty of money, and I got plenty of ideas. And that's why we're going to be partners. I have made up a corporation for us.
What is
the
it?
Partners Corporation.
Oh, that's good.
Well, the Partners Partnership Corporation. Now, let's go back to your beautiful chick. You're going to be down here in New York chasing your little radio/comedy dreams.
Yeah.
And she's going to find a nice Russian, and she'll never come back to you.
I'm not worried about her. Yeah, Russell Peters hit on her at one of the parties.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Of course he did. Why
He's
would
a fucking big star. She looks like the kind of girl who's with a big star.
Yeah, and
I'm going to say this. She would look fine, and I'm not even making this up, dating Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. I would be
She
like,
looks
well,
like
that
the
makes
type
sense.
of girl who dates Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah, no, she's got her shit together for sure. Much more than me.
Don't put yourself down. The women hate that. That's why Vito doesn't get any women. Yeah. He's always going, Vito bad, thinking that they're going to like him.
He negs himself.
I just suck so much.
Yeah, that is true. I was thinking that earlier today.
Oh, no.
Joe Coy's coming to Unmasked.
That's next Wednesday, August 9th, 1 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios. You go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets to Joe Coy Unmasked.
Chris, I'm going to say something to you, and I think Gail's picked up on it. I'm kind of silly today.
Yeah.
I'm just in a silly fucking mood
He
today.
is quite silly.
You know why? This sun. You know what I mean?
It's too hot, man.
Too hot. This is hot enough.
What?
I could be a lizard. You are a polar bear. There's only two kinds of people in the world. Polar bears and lizards.
I'm a lizard then.
I'm a bear.
Now, you are a fucking bear. Meaning a big gay guy.
Who preys upon twinks.
You know, you still think that gay is a punchline, Chris.
You do.
Well, fuck you.
Oh, come on.
Hey, by the way, were you surprised with the military that when Trump made the thing of the transgenders can't serve in the military, that the military just went like this? That's not true. That's not true.
Just no.
No, we're not that way. He did that, and then when he said the other day about the cops, rough him up a little bit.
Oh, my God.
And all the cops, all across the nation goes, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, that police department had to put out a tweet that was just like, hey, we take this pretty seriously.
And
we're not going to start banging people's heads against the fucking car door.
And police departments all over the country went, it's bad enough to get arrested, but when you start banging people around, they really hate you.
And I was like, I wondered if the cops were pissed at him for saying that. It was like you should be pissed and be like, why would you make people think that we do things illegally?
You should go when they go into elementary schools as cops and stuff and explain why they're your friend. Just start yelling, you fuckers are about 5 years away from us roughing you up, so get used to it. If I was a cop, this would be my main line. Freeze, turkey! And always
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
always,
really good.
At Thanksgiving, you remember how I always get the turkey, and as soon as I put it in the freezer, I yell, freeze, turkey! And then everybody laughs, and I go, seriously, we need this to freeze, because it's not Thanksgiving. But another 2 months, I got a beautiful deal in this. Last year, I got myself a 2-pound turkey.
Enough?
Huh?
Was that enough
Not
turkey?
nearly enough.
It's like 2 sandwiches.
I did it in one of those little fucking college ovens. What are those ovens called?
Like those little
Toaster oven?
like a
Toaster oven.
Yeah.
Or you were going with a
It was
convection?
like convection.
Yeah, convection,
Something like
toaster.
that.
I'm going to take both of those. You're both right. Like on To Tell the Truth, I was watching last night. Ba 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 boo boo doo 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 doo. Oh, I'm singing head over heels. You know why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is she in the building? And is she coming this way? Oh, you know what? I shouldn't even ask you that because I don't want you to start using your phone.
Okay.
Vito, you're going to be one. She in the building?
Yeah, she is in the building.
I am so. Bridget Everett is here.
Ooh.
She's got a couple of movies coming out. One was The Darling the absolute darling of Sundance called Patty Cakes. And then Fun Mom Dinner comes out in select theaters and video on demand this Friday, August the 4th. Patty Cakes, which I know nothing about, but people raved about it.
Yeah, it is getting a lot of really good press and attention.
Sundance.
I didn't even know they still did Sundance.
It still happens. I believe there's still a Sundance channel as well.
What do they play on there?
Patty Cakes?
I think it's just indie stuff.
Indie stuff, yeah. Indie is short for independent. That's why I remember when George Washington says, we want to be Indy of England.
It's the Declaration of Indy.
And your home country, Canada, going like this. We like England. We're going to stay up here and be cold with England.
Why did you choose them?
He didn't choose.
Yeah.
Good point.
Did they break treaties with the Cree?
Oh, yeah. They didn't honor them till like mid-90s.
Mid-90s?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it was...
Nevermind had already come out.
It was really shitty.
I hope that's what they said. Look, Nevermind is out. Come on, guys.
This is really the last important album that will ever be made.
You're going to tell me you waited for Nevermind to start looking at these treaties?
Dude, I could wait to the White Stripes if you want to keep fucking around with me. Bum, 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 bum. Every sports game. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Well, it's just because you can stomp to it, I guess. It's just a stompable song.
It's a chalk jam. It's sad.
It's so weird.
I'm going to try to get, next time I go to a football game, I'm going to try to get like an Elton John thing going. I'll just like, ba 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 ba. I don't know if anybody else will do it, but maybe I'll just say Bernie Taupin go like this to me. Cool. There's Eric Trump last night. He was on the Hannity show.
Mm-hmm.
Fox is so glad we got rid of the mooch 10 days after they said the mooch was great.
Yeah.
He was going to change everything.
Yeah. The mooch. Look out, everybody. The mooch is in town.
The mooch is loose.
Hopefully we'll get more and more generals in there until we have to restart referring to each other as privates. You know what I mean? We just all just call each other by our new military names. Joe Coy, you coming to that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be coy.
Yeah.
Somebody ought to bring up to him that he could very easily turn his name into Cole.
Yeah.
You got other prep for me, Chris? Taking it home today?
Yeah, it should be taken home today, yeah.
Can you make it as small as possible? So
No, I'm going to make it as big as possible.
Oh, my God.
I didn't mean it like that.
That is not only your boss, but your friend.
Joe, I'm sorry that my producer has his peni out.
That's multiple penis, by the way.
Well, Vito's going to be right next to him, both of them. Or just as they call it, time for fucking air. They just sit. They just have their cocks in it out. They go like this. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year, Chris? Come on.
Eagles.
No, the first thing that came to my mind?
Say it.
Raiders.
Can I tell you what to do?
What's that?
Put all your money down on the Raiders. You get it in October.
Yeah.
Go straight to Vegas and push it all in.
Do it, Chrissy.
I mean, I will be betting on NFL games this season, but
oh boy. There goes the money.
Oh no, Chris. Is that what you're going to do with it?
Do with what?
Seriously?
I can't talk about anything. All I'm saying is I will be
You
gambling
can say
on
you
NFL
have
games.
money.
Would you make
You've
one
already
solid
said that to
investment?
everyone.
Would you invest into an RON? And
what kind of returns are in an RON?
Well, they don't return you from work. I let you stay here.
Right?
I have on my paper that Bridget Everett is going to be here at fucking 12:40. Well, what time is it now, Chris?
It's 12:40 and 14 seconds.
When that hits 41,
Yeah.
cancel her.
Oh, Jesus.
And ban her from this room.
No, Bridget Everett's her friend.
All right, well, 41.
Who's her? You said her friend.
Is our friend, I said.
Oh, our friend. was like, her friend. I'm going, oh boy. Looks like Goey's back, her imaginary friend.
First of all, Goey was a boy. And the wine bottle. Champagne bottle. It was a champagne bottle that I was my imaginary friend.
Let's be honest. She didn't carry a champagne bottle. She carried around a champagne telephone.
It was a phone shaped as a champagne bottle.
Who she said was her friend Goey. She did that like little kids shit like years ago. Me and Goey used to, we were just like, oh, were you alive then? Were you an adult? Yeah, there are little kids that like, well, your nephew, your little cousin was the same way where he would bring up what, you could say was a great imagination or past lives.
Yeah.
But then both of you seem like mature kids.
But he had one that was terrifying. Goey's not terrifying. No one's afraid of Goey.
I was a little afraid of Goey.
But Mr. Red Apple was fucking scary.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Really scary.
Mr. Red Apple is behind you right now.
Yeah, Mr. Red Apple, he said, wore a suit. And then somebody said to him, what does Mr. Red Apple say? And he's just little. He's like, he says, come here, kid. You want an apple?
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck, dude? What in the actual fuck?
And then he said this, red rum.
Oh, no.
Red rum. And 17 years later, we figured out it's murder.
It took us a while.
I know what we should bring Bridget into. Ba 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 Bridget. We did that with every fucking guest. Ba ba Papa Mick Jagger.
They leave like, it was a good interview, but it started a little weird.
Come here, kid, I'll give you a red apple.
Mr. Red Apple.
Oh, Mr. Stabby Knife is here. He stabs everybody. What are you bringing her into?
Head over heels.
On the phone.
Is that by the Go-Go's?
That's by the Go-Go's.
It takes a while to get to the hook, though. Did you ever notice?
It does.
All right, Bridget's coming in, so let's play it right away so we can try to get to the hook. Bridget Everett.
From the place on the street.
It's like just
cart.
Like a little cart.
Yeah, I like that
cart.
place.
Somebody else just asked us about that juice out front today, too.
Everybody
Where do you get that juice?
Are we on?
That green juice.
Yeah,
we
we're
are.
always
Hi.
Oh, we're always on. Okay, we're talking juice.
Yeah. Not juice, so no one get upset with us right now. Juice. The wonderful Bridget Everett is here. Fun Mom Dinner comes out. Select theaters and video on demand Friday, August 4th. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you again.
You know,
what's happening?
We were talking about your movie, and there's a certain thread that runs through about kind of movie love, in particular, the John Hughes movie love.
16 Candles specifically.
People are always obsessed with that scene and that kid in that movie.
Oh my God, I love 16 Candles is one of my favorite movies. I always thought that Anthony Michael Hall should have won an Oscar or at least been nominated.
So good.
I mean, really, he's so good, and he's always so good when you revisit the movie.
Now, would you have rather seen him, Anthony Michael Hall, there at the end with the car rather than Jake?
I certainly would have rather him not rape someone. That would have been great. But
what he did?
Yeah, there's an implied date rape that Anthony Michael Hall.
That part. Yeah, that's when you revisit it. When you revisit it, you're like, oh, this is troubling.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like a Woody Allen movie. You're like, oh, I thought this was cute.
But aside from that, his acting is impeccable.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Farmer Ted is like
he
the
was
best
the funniest
ever.
little kid. He was so well. Remember, they gave him like SNL when he was like 17 because he was just so naturally funny.
But everyone loves the car scene when like Jake Ryan shows up and does the car scene. But I also just love the like when they're sitting between the birthday cake and they're sitting on the table.
Come on, that's so
like
tender.
as a little kid, I was just like, oh my, I want that. I want to be old, like
45-year-old woman. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't know if I can sit on that glass table at my shatter, but I'll do it. If I'm going to go,
Thanks for getting my undies back. Well, that song, and by the way, it wasn't even a hit song, was it?
No, the last song of the movie is but that song is so good.
It's amazing.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
exactly.
Is that Thompson Twins? No.
It may be Thompson Twins. You might be right on this.
100%.
I'm going to treat myself to that.
I keep looking over at Chris to grab the song, but
if you were here, Thompson Twins.
You're not.
Oh my God, I got it right.
Yeah.
Just water, coffee. Hello. Okay, thanks. I don't know what I'm talking about. Water. This is exciting. Oh, it's got ice in it too.
Yeah. That's
only the best for you.
Yeah. I refuse to have any kind of water that doesn't have ice in it. Just blocks and blocks of ice.
Then you must have hated Montreal.
Oh, were you guys at the
we were at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just got back. So much fun, as always. But they don't ice up the water. Now you're doing the song after we moved on to Montreal.
Well, you gotta drop it in now. It's so good. It never gets old. You have it?
Oh my God.
Oh, look, there's the picture, too. That's the picture that you love.
I can't.
But you know what? Now that I'm
it's too much.
Now that I'm an adult, I would have said, you are going to your sister's wedding reception. You just can't. You could date Jake tomorrow.
Invite your friend. Bring him to the reception. Why isn't this an option?
And you know what? I hated that the dad was like, "Oh, nice car." Like she's a kid. So what? His parents have an expensive car. Was this out of all the John Hughes movies? Which
this is
one's
my
your
favorite. 100%, hands down.
All the other we were talking yesterday, like Tony and Katie and Molly, they all different ones, like Some Kind of Wonderful. And whatever. This is the one.
This is the best one.
You know, if I'm going to be totally honest, and it's not the kids' movie ones, but Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
Oh, yeah. God, you know what? I saw that recently.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It's amazingly
really
heartbreaking.
Oh, God, I'm going to start crying. Oh, my God.
When he thinks that when John Candy's sitting by himself on Thanksgiving at a fucking train station.
I'm crying right now.
I was so happy when Steve Martin went back for him. But I'm gonna give you another John Hughes that doesn't come up much. Is She's Having a Baby with Kevin Bacon?
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking terrific.
He's got some canon, that guy.
Yeah.
I probably have not seen that movie in forever. I want to watch it again. I totally forgot about that one.
Well, Kevin Bacon does a line at the end of what he was looking for was not to be found but to be made.
Yeah.
He's got the baby, and I'm just John Hughes.
He's not to be found, but to be made?
Yeah, it was not to be found, but to be made. So he had kind of made this little family for himself because he didn't know what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm married to a bitch, but look at this little baby that I have. I wish I could go out and party with Alec Baldwin. Remember how fucking Alec Baldwin was so, oily, but fucking, a really unbelievably hot guy at the same time? That kid was fucking crazy pretty when he was young.
Yeah.
Now he's yoga, no sugar, no alcohol. Just clean living.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to Boogie Time, Alec Baldwin. Well, all the Baldwin brothers.
Yeah. They could all party.
Yeah, they could all party.
Yeah.
But you brought up the cast. You're in this movie with a crazy cast.
Yeah. Molly Shannon, Toni Collette, Katie Hazelton, Adam Scott, what's the Maroon 5 guy?
Maroon 5 is
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
John Early, you guys know John Early.
I love John Early.
John has one scene that I was when I watched it the first time, I rewound it 5 times.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
And then you're threatening him.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something that you say to him and his facial expression
That's when
as he reacts to you is just it's too much.
So good.
The two of you together
funny.
Was just the best.
Gail was with Kate Berlant in Montreal, who was his
I did an episode of Gail Meets Girls with her.
Oh, awesome!
And, nice. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I love that one.
She's super, super funny.
Her Instagram stories lately. Have you seen her Instagram stories?
No, I don't follow her.
Some weird shit.
She is so strange. And but by the way, to me, Molly Shannon is the fucking tops of everything. I literally would vote for her to be president.
Did you ever see, she had a movie last year called Other People. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see it.
You didn't like,
yes, I did, but there was things that
so good.
kill me in it.
Yeah.
She slays me.
Yeah.
She's so talented and and also the nicest person.
Yeah, you could just tell.
I mean, nobody wants to hear that, famous people are nice, but she's so nice.
I would just like one famous person that you hear, just really terrible.
It's the worst.
Oh, I remember. Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, back again.
Oh, was he a monster? Did you meet him? Okay.
No. I'm sure he's great, but he's always in some kind of trouble.
Yeah. Sexy, I think. Should I be embarrassed about that? No.
No, I don't think you should be.
Yeah.
Well, this is about these moms getting together and just one night going sideways.
Yeah.
Which is always fun.
Yeah.
It happens less and less the older you get, but you're just like, and that was a crazy night. But it's the only ones that you remember.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I was in Kansas City doing a show, and I'm from Kansas, so all my girlfriends from high school showed up in a party bus with just like a crate full of booze, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with you guys.
Yeah, right.
Because they're just like, we're doing this tonight. Yeah. We're going to have so much fun. So like, I can relate to how like something like Fun Mom Dinner could happen.
Well, that's that Midwest kind of attitude, right? Of we're going to make the fun.
Yeah,
right
we're
here.
going to make the fun. A lot of tailgating and stuff goes on there.
Yeah.
And I love that it's also like this trend of like a lot of like women-based comedies. Like now, instead of it just being like a once in a while thing, like it's become a regular thing.
Well, it used to be kind of bro-based, it'd be about the guys.
But like now, like I feel like when it first started to come up, like, oh, let's do, things like Bridesmaids and stuff like that, where like you have a female ensemble comedy. It was just like, oh, like people kind of looked at it like that's a cool gimmick, and now it's not a gimmick; it's just a type of film that comes out, and I think that's awesome.
Also, like I read some article a while ago about Melissa McCarthy, and they were like people were trying to undercut her, or as a box office draw. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, she's had movies that are making a lot of millions of dollars, and you're trying to like undervalue her. I don't know, because she's a woman. I don't know. It's just. It's crazy.
She's
a miracle.
She's unbelievable. I don't even know how far back you got to go to compare her. I'm going to say Peter Sellers. I think you have to. I always see her and Paul Feig as Blake Edwards and Peter Sellers, where they do something. The character's crazy, different, and the whole thing, and you're just like, Jesus, that's a home run.
Yeah.
But you know what else I love about these kind of movies is that it just reminds you that life is so fucking hard that you get moments. You get moments sometimes that are joyful, but you can't sustain joy. Yeah. You just can't stay. And yet I could sit around and be fucking depressed or angry for an amazing amount. I'm just great at that.
I'm like, wow, I'm nailing this right now. Yeah. Like, I am so sad.
If that's how you made money, oh God, I'd be so rich.
But isn't that like the really heartbreaking thing about like a crazy night or a joyful night is like when the older you get, the more you're just like, well, this doesn't happen every day. Like at the end of something and you're like, whoa, we just had like this really crazy awesome night and it was fun and exciting. You're like, okay, I'll just go back to my regular life.
Because it becomes more shame-based as you get older.
There's a little shame, yeah.
I mean, when it's light and you're wearing last night's clothes, you're just like, oh, jeez.
I'll wear the same outfit for a week. I do not give a fuck.
Look at you, Chris Stanley. You finally have a doppelganger.
The people in the neighborhood that see me, like, I'll have had, like, somebody throw milk on me the night before, and I'll have the same, like, moo-moo schmata thing on. I've got the glitter and the hair's all fucked up, and they're just like, hey, you Bridget Everett. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I am. Is that your dog Poppy? I was like, yeah, let's take a picture. I'm like, no thanks. I'm like, no, let's take a picture.
You want a picture with me, don't you? Get over here, get your picture with me.
Do you smell like milk? Yeah, I smell like milk. Oh, so dark.
But, now, and you got another movie coming out.
Yeah. Patty Cakes.
And that was the big thing in Sundance. And
I made a nice little splash at Sundance. We were at Cannes, too, which is really cool.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm excited to see
it. Yeah, it's Jeremy Jasper, first-time writer-director. He wrote the script, all the music, all the lyrics. Sort of like, I was saying, like, Precious meets 8 Mile meets Rudy. I don't know. Wow. And Patricia, Patty Cakes, is played by a young Australian actor. Her name's Danielle McDonald, and she had never rapped. She does a Jersey accent. She's incredible. And then I play her, hard-living mother that wanted to be a singer that never got the chance. So, that wasn't too hard to pull off a couple years ago while I was still waiting tables. That's really, I'm excited about that too.
But, your thing, like, I remember when we were all excited because you were getting buzz as a cabaret star, and then you were getting some TV shots. Now 2 movies in the same month.
Yeah, and a pilot coming right after.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's cool. And the Patty Cakes is a dramatic thing, so it's a nice opportunity to try something different. I mean, I loved performing live, but it's like, it's a lot to maintain. I mean, I'm 45, like the actual, like, you know, if I were in better physical condition, it might not be so much of an issue, but it's like, it's taxing.
Maybe if you didn't pick up men and play them like they were a guitar, it might be easier.
But you got to keep it interesting for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, but it's like anything else. Who knows what's going to stick and how things are going to go. But I think I'm excited.
Yeah, you're playing with house money. This is not stuff that you would ever planned on, you know?
Yeah.
This is like you going, okay, the wave happened. Let's see how far this goes. Let's see where it is. And I think that's just fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is I keep learning and surprising myself. Like I can't believe I'm doing certain things and getting opportunities. And so I'll never be ungrateful, that's for sure.
Right.
And I'll never stop being curious about how to get better at it.
Well, that's what happens when these things don't happen to you at 19 or 20 or 25 even, you know, before you've had a chance to live life and see what things are. I always feel bad when someone really young gets these kinds of opportunities because they don't understand that there's talent involved, and then there's also luck, just being at the right place at the right time and doing something that's great. But some luck still has to play into it.
True, but I mean, for sure, like the way that I got both of these parts where they happened to see me performing, like doing the live stuff or the singing, you know? So if they hadn't seen me, like I wouldn't be in 2 movies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and the pilot I did, I'm doing with Bobcat Goldthwait and Michael Patrick King, and it's because they know me as a live performer. And if they didn't, there'd be no pilot, you know?
And Bobcat's going to direct it?
But I wrote it with Bobcat and Michael. Bobcat directed it. What? And it comes out September 1st on Amazon. And
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like,
dude, he is,
boom, boom, boom.
He's literally my favorite director. His films are
he's so great.
Fucking good.
He's really smart, and he, like, you know, takes great care of you. And Michael Patrick King is such a legend. He's one of my, you know, he is my mentor, and like, so it was like a dream, you know, like I met Bobcat and I literally like fell in love with him. I was like, I thought that I wanted to like marry him, but then I realized very quickly I just like adored him as a person. Yeah. And as a talent, and like he's such a tender-hearted guy, but with like a sick sense of humor, and and his movies are great and weird. And I like things that are a little different. So.
Well, by the way, that is a funny thing because Bobcat is somebody that did have success at a very early age. Yeah. I mean, I think he did the Tonight Show maybe early 20s or even younger. Yeah. And, you know, became such a hit with that character that people think, oh, yeah, he's the guy who screams, you know. Yeah. But then he's got this whole other truly artistic side. I mean, his films are, if he was like French or something, we'd be talking about him all the time. Or if he hadn't been Bobcat, the comedian, we would be talking about Bob Goldthwait, this, you know, this unbelievable, but you know, he still carries around the character in reviewers' minds. But for me, those movies are just genius.
Yeah. That is so exciting, the 2 of you guys working together. I'm really excited about that.
I'm really thrilled.
I'm always amazed when great people find other great people. You know, when cool recognizes cool, it's always my favorite thing. And I bet when you were doing that cabaret show, at least some people were saying, you don't have to do all this broad stuff. You got a great, you know what I mean? You could, you know, you were so original with that thing, but it wasn't the same kind of commercial appeal that people normally go after.
Right. So it's been interesting over the years. Like people are like, well, we think you're really interesting or wild, or like I'm maybe wanting to do something, but they didn't really have any idea like what to do with me. So I think that's what's taken a long time, but I'm happy because I've calmed down. I've like stopped being so nervous and self-loathing. Well, not self-loathing, but full of self-doubt, you know? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Good luck with this. 2 movies coming out this month, and then the pilot is for Netflix, and
Amazon.
Oh, for Amazon.
Amazon, September 1st, yeah.
Okay, I'm an Amazon person anyway. I think they're just amazing.
Oh, yeah,
they do great stuff. Fun Mom Dinner comes out select theaters and video on demand this Friday, August 4th. Patty Cakes comes out in select theaters Friday, August 18th. Bridget Everett, thank you so much, darling.
Thank you. It's always wonderful to see
Same
you guys.
Thank you.
I can't wait till we get our all-new Rejoinder music, our all-new opening.
Yep.
Vito, what's your idea for a new opening?
Well, I don't want to say it, but I do have an idea that I've discussed with people that I'm going to have ready for you guys.
Or do you have a second idea that you decided not to use? Or you just go with your first idea?
I was going to go with my first idea sooner than later, and then...
Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Chris, you don't have to give away your number one idea. What's your second idea?
My second idea was maybe to have our comedian friends talking about the show in the intro.
Wow. Comedian friends talking about the show. Like, I'm Joe Coy. You can see me at the next Unmasked, and then you can go there and see me get unmasked by Ron Bennington.
Something like that?
That's Wednesday. That's next Wednesday, August 9th.
Next Wednesday, August 9th.
1 p.m.
Go to theibank.com. The iBank. Something for comedy and comedy for something. Something up, comedies. The iBank, blowing up with so much Montreal love. Vito's fan stuff is up there, which I enjoyed, and it made me kick myself in the back of the head for how many shows I missed.
That's called the 15 comedy fans share their favorite JFL moments.
Very good article.
Great job.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to do.
You had a wonderful Montreal.
I did. It was a great time.
Gail, you had a wonderful Montreal. Jen had a wonderful Montreal. Chris?
Yes.
Sup, big man?
Hi. How's it going?
At least you got that sup, right,
We got
Chris?
that check coming in October, motherfucker.
Don't know what you're talking about.
And Chris, you got a shout out at least.
Yeah. Shout outs to my man, Moneybags. We're not dishing today with Jen, right?
We're dishing tomorrow.
All right. So, Jen, I'm going to tell you this. Buff J-Lo is the new sensation. Are you ready for the new sensation? Buff J-Lo looks just like J-Lo, except for she's super buff.
You know how when you were looking at J-Lo and you thought, I like her, but buff her, please.
Buff it up.
That's not J-Lo?
No.
Her face looks exactly like J-Lo.
I know.
That's why she's, look at her there.
Look at that shot.
Oh, my God.
That looks exactly like her.
Well, she's ripped.
Yeah.
Look at the arm.
Where the other J-Lo has to cover herself in a fur.
That picture of her face right there.
Looks like old J-Lo.
Yeah.
J-Lo gets old.
I don't think J-Lo can get
I think working out makes you look a little too old.
It can, yeah.
Well, she does look like J-Lo.
It's really, really strange.
But do you think the ass is hard? Because I like a jiggly ass.
Look at the stomach of this buff
like
J-Lo.
8-pack.
Yeah.
This is really intense.
I always say this, you can't fuck a stomach.
You do always say that.
And I'm going to start saying it more.
Now, put your votes in. Buff J-Lo or Juicy J-Lo?
Juicy.
You know, I'm buff.
Jesus, really?
I want to see how hard that ass is.
I've been with J-Lo since she was a fucking fly girl.
I know,
You know
so
what?
was I.
Here's what it is. It looks like, when you're looking in her eyes, it looks like you're fucking J-Lo, but it feels like you're fucking A-Rod. And when I say that, I mean A-Rod in your ass. Head over heels with my J-Lo. There are times I've looked at the actual J-Lo, and I just can't believe how beautiful her face is.
Yeah, she is.
I don't
really
even have to get to the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Vito, buff
Or
juicy?
juicy?
I don't know. Buff is a pretty good body, then I'd like to work out with her. And
You want her as a personal trainer is what you just described?
I'd like to whip myself into shape, and it looks like it would be a lot of fun to keep up with her.
No, I wouldn't be getting in shape.
What does that mean?
That doesn't mean anything.
sounds like he was-
What you just said doesn't mean anything. I won't be getting into shape because I'll be busy having too much sex. Is that the implication?
Well, he seems like he doesn't want to have sex with her.
You
He
know
just
what
wants a
you're
personal
saying?
trainer.
You're acting like you're going to fat all over her, dog.
Yeah.
We're going to sit next to each other all the time.
All right. Easy.
It's creepy.
You know, the rest of us were joking.
I know.
Jeez, Vito. Took it too far.
Got heated.
What a creep.
Oh, guess what? I got some great news for everybody.
What is it?
We just got name checked by Paperface.
What?
We didn't have
I
any.
fucking love Paperface.
He's front and center on the image on Vito's piece. Paperface right there.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
That box is unmistakable.
I don't know. Then when you showed his casual wear,
I liked his casual one.
The casual wear, the casual fucking Paperface mask was great.
All right, I just want to bring up another thing that I loved on the iBang today, and that's the firebending wristbands. So apparently this is in a movie called Airbender, right? Did anybody see it?
I'm aware of Airbender, yeah. So
But you didn't see it?
I didn't see it. It was a cartoon first.
Isn't it supposed to be like a pretty bad movie? It's
The
like,
movie was like hated, but the cartoon from Nickelodeon
Right,
was really popular.
gotcha.
That's weird. I just show what this guy can do. So you punch, and fire comes out of the punch.
Whoa!
So I guess that happens in Airbender?
Yeah, they're like...
How could this movie not be great?
So this is a real life Airbender.
Yes.
This is awesome.
See, the other
This
dude...
is just a dude who made this.
The dude in the red shirt makes things from movies. So if you have something in a movie that you want him to make, you write in and he'll make it if he thinks it's something cool. Like he made a real... what's that fucking weird thing?
Lightsaber?
That's it. I was going to say light laser, but that would have been ridiculous. Looking at me, looks
Dude,
like...
this is badass.
This is awesome.
I think he's made some Iron Man shit, too.
He should just be making these fire
I would
fists.
love just to be able to like have that kind of mechanical... Oh, there it is.
I would love for him to show this to Trump. Got an idea for our military.
I would
Let me
love
pitch
for...
this to you.
Here's what I'd like him to do. I'd like him to show this to children and then leave it behind and say, don't anybody play Airbender when I'm not here. It's really fucking cool, though.
Pretty
awesome.
sure I'm going to be playing Airbender.
It looks like he's getting a lot of fire punches out of it, too.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
He's got to do Dragon Ball Z next.
What do they have?
Kamehameha. Like the...
Oh, he just... Like we're going to know what he said. You're fucking
You're
serious.
talking about the spirit bomb.
No, I'm talking about Kamehameha.
Seriously. You're a giant fucking baby. What's the Kyle Irving and Steph Curry story?
Oh, so Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry were at a wedding, and they got caught on video mocking LeBron's stupid Instagram workout dance he does together at the wedding, where LeBron put up a video where he like walks around and dances like that. Steph and Kyrie got caught doing it at this wedding, which is a big deal because Kyrie's been requesting to get treated from Cleveland because he's sick of being in LeBron's
Treated
shadow.
or traded?
Traded.
You did say treated, though.
He's been treated poorly by
Well, I think I called him Kyle Irving. You know, all right, let me just say for a second. I know people think that this is terrible, but I kind of think it's fun when you,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they're
You're
just having
busting
a
balls.
good time.
Yeah. I like when you,
Look at all the joy it's bringing his
here's
friend.
what I also like. Anything at a wedding where the guys start dancing together.
Yeah, they're like, it's guy time, ladies. Get off the dance floor, ladies. This is just a time for me and my bros to dance.
A bunch of that happened at Lewis's wedding.
I gotta tell you, it's a deer hunter moment for me.
I think it's
Look how guys always have their ties fucking pulled apart.
Yeah.
Just don't wear them anymore. Let's just fucking say to ourselves,
I love it.
This is the one thing that Trump could do. Start showing up, jacket, white shirt, no tie. And we say white shirt means we're trying, everybody. We're being
That's enough.
This is professional.
Look at how much they love each other. Most guys want to have sex with each other, right? Like best friends.
If
Am I right?
well,
Like,
here's
I'm pretty
the thing.
sure that's what's going on.
There's normally like a block in our brains to keep us from doing that. But if I thought when I was young, my truest connection were my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I fucking loved all my buddies. And then I had girlfriends. But to be honest, I enjoyed spending times with my buddies more.
Right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because there's like true, like, sometimes if you see like a group of guys and like the way they just like look at each other, you're just like, there's like not only like love, but there's like a lustiness too, like an excitement.
Yes, you want to be together. And that's how you feel when you're young. But I will say this. If you keep those friendships when you get married, you're either going to be divorced or have a bad marriage.
Right. Right.
And I'll tell you, this is the thing that I hate most of all, is when you see those movies, and I'm going to say this, it showed up in that mom's dinner thing, that the men were talking about the women, and the women were talking about the men. The men were like, she blows me sometimes when I'm watching Kimmel. I'm like, what? How do you fucking... Why would you say something so intimate? You know what I mean? I can't stand when people have those kind of friendships.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to have your own fucking secrets with your bros, yeah. But don't bring your fucking chick into it. I'm saying that to you, North America. And that includes Mexico, and I want you to hear me now before I put up a fucking wall. And it's going up.
Are they still going to pay for it?
No.
Okay.
We're going to pay for it.
Damn. Seemed like that was part of the chant.
Even if it's clear?
It's not going to be clear. It's going to be slats. People get confused with the clear. They think it's going to be some kind of...
Like plexiglass?
Yeah. We're not going to be playing fucking handball against it. It's slats. Think of a nice fucking curtain. Slats so you can still push Coke through.
Oh, okay.
Guess that's
Seems
better.
cheaper.
I was watching something on the fake news today that they are pushing to say that there's an Oxycontin epidemic and that we're going to somehow use federal money for this. And then they show Trump from his inauguration, I guess it was, where he goes, there's an epidemic or there's some kind of crazy drug thing going on. It stops today.
What? Dude, that's not gonna work.
You can't just say it.
You're not our dad, Trump.
Over.
That's not how this is gonna work.
Then he said, you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
I got you for 2 months.
But people love Oxycontin, and to be totally honest, when you're on Oxycontin, you can't do much else, you know?
It's kind of just like your main interest.
That's your main thing. Like, you see friends from high school, what have you been doing lately? Well, I've been taking a lot of Oxycontin. I've committed to that.
Like benzos. There's some report that another report about oxys and opioids that manufacturers can't get enough skilled workers, so they're relying more on robots.
Bullshit.
They're
fucking getting robots because it fucking pays less. They can blame it on the oxy heads. But you tell me that there aren't a lot of unemployed people that would love to make fucking old school factory money. Yeah, but they want a robot. But I hate when they make up a lie about that. And I told you I was really annoyed in Montreal that they got rid of the baggage handler thing, and now you got this fucking stupid lazy Susan of a fucking robot baggage handler.
Oh yeah, that thing.
And everybody thinks because it looks a little cool that it's fun. I'm like, I'm saying to people, I'm not having fun right now. I'm saying, why does that make you laugh? I'm saying fucking children whose dad's not working. In my mind, in my imaginary mind, or imagine mind, as I'm now trademarking.
You're seeing the family like it's like Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim.
Thank you.
And while you're sitting there clapping for your robots.
Clapping and rapping for your fucking droids. Fuck. I hate robots so much I wouldn't even be with a woman if she had earrings. Because I consider that droid. No, not droid. What is it? Clone? Not clone.
No, it's when you're like
cyborg?
Cyborg,
Thank
yeah.
you. Let's call them Borgs, dude.
Okay.
Borgs.
Fucking Borgs out there.
Fucking Borgs everywhere you look.
Let's hunt them down.
Look, I couldn't talk about this yesterday, but in the human existence, so crushed about Sam Shepard passing away.
Yeah.
So crushed. I spent last night just going, why do we make art? Why do we enjoy art? What am I at the point that everyone I've ever admired has to die now?
It's really hard. That one hit me super, super hard. It came through on Twitter while I was on the train. And I felt like someone like took the air out of my lungs. It like really, really crushed me because he meant the world to me. And honestly, really, in many ways, changed the course of my life and things that I decided to do.
Right.
By reading his work and seeing his work performed live. He was just such a fucking phenomenal writer. And honestly, like, probably America's greatest playwright that we've ever had.
And then you put this side of that, he was a fucking great actor. He was a drummer in bands in the fucking Lower East Side.
Just a generally cool person.
Dude, I had one of the most amazing nights of my life. I can't even tell you how many years this was ago now. I'm at the 92nd Street Y, and Sam Shepard was going to come out and talk. And he goes, all right, I'm going to read some of my plays. This is True West. And he's reading True West. And I mean, I can see it now and remember every moment of it because I said in my head, remember every moment of this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Feel this completely. This is crazy. So we're waiting for Sam Shepard. And also the author who did The Sports Writer was there that night. I mean, he's just it was one of those great New York nights that when I was a kid, I would read about and I'd be like, how does that happen? How does you go see somebody do something like this? And before Shepard comes out, Philip Seymour Hoffman just comes walking out on the stage. And, he starts to talk about Sam. And, he's going to introduce. Nobody knew it. So we're all just fucking, this is at his peak. He'd only won the Oscar a couple years before, and he'd done True West, which I took you kids to.
Yeah.
And it was Philip Seymour Hoffman and
John C. Reilly. And what they would do, you have have you seen the play True West or read it or anything? Right. There's two brothers in this. And one is kind of an intellectual brother, and the other one is just a physical, kind of brutish, borderline lives
comedian.
Out in the desert.
Yeah, just, and
aggressive.
They're both, Sam Shepard. You know what I mean? They're the two parts of him fighting without, saying it like it was a fucking cartoon. And this is all men. All of us are this way, and probably, and there's always a thing that he's looking for his father, and that he had that whole crazy father thing. So we go there, and I guess the fact that Magnolia had come out, and then Capote had come out, and we get there, and Philip Seymour Hoffman that night was not playing the intellectual sensitive one, he's playing the brute. And I remember, I took the whole family, and it's a theater around, and we got great seats not far from the stage and everything. I'm looking at the playbill, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I picked the wrong night. John C. Reilly would be much better in this role, and Philip Seymour Hoffman must be much better in the other role. And Philip Seymour Hoffman comes onto the stage, and he's playing the Sam Shepard thing. And I know I've talked about this on the air before, he was so physically aggressive and intimidating and filled the room that I actually had the thought, this motherfucker comes off the stage near my family, I'm just fucking lighting him up. I was like in full defense mode.
Yeah.
Because it felt like you were in a dangerous situation. And I'd seen that play twice on television before.
Yeah.
Thought it was fucking amazing. But
Malkovich,
and then I saw Bruce Willis recorded it at his little place, which was, up in...
And Gary Sinise was the other one.
Gary Sinise was the other one. And Malkovich became a star immediately.
Yeah.
It took Gary Sinise a few more years because he had the more sensitive role.
Yeah.
And he had talked about that people tend to miss the sensitive role, but he had said that every night they would do this play. They brought it in from Chicago. And producers and agents would go out to dinner at night with Malkovich, and Sinise would go to and play video games in Times Square. He's just over there. But I remember seeing it on TV, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. But to be in that room was a totally different experience where you get to feel the power of acting And, of course, the playwriting. It was more explosive in that room. So anyway, to see that, and I'll always remember this, Philip Seymour Hoffman says, when I was a kid in college, my friends and I would get drunk and read Sam Shepard plays. And, he got a little laugh. And this kid yells out, "We still do." Everyone starts clapping. To lose both those people now?
It's really heartbreaking.
These are not roles that can be filled.
I heard from a lot of my friends. And when I said, it shifted my focus and changed my life, it was because I always had, a love for film. And it wasn't until I saw that play live that I was like, oh, this is what I want to explore. Is live theater became so exciting. And if you most of us have a relationship with live theater where you're thinking it's musicals. And so it was the first time I saw something that was just like the power was insane. But it was really cool, just to hear from all my old friends who, were playwrights and, some of which are still writing plays and, talk to each other and joke about how we used to do that very same thing and read his work and how many of us were ripping off Sam Shepard.
Right.
When you're young, you don't know how to do anything but rip people off for a while. And we said, well, at least we were ripping off the good one. There were people we went to school with who, they were fans of the wrong people, and we're like, hey, at least we were ripping off the fucking genius of geniuses. So yeah, I loved him.
It always was peculiar to me that I always think of Sam living in New York City. He was already left by the time I got here because he doesn't seem anything like that. And yet, he had this crazy New York life and dated all the right women, Patty
and them in the fact that Cowboy Mouth existed, Patti Smith and Sam Shepard, he writes a play for him and Patti Smith to perform and do together. And if that's not enough, you could literally just do that and just be the coolest person ever.
Yeah. And then of course Jessica Lange, who when I interviewed on this show, she had already, they had broken up after being together for, decades. But it still felt like such a connection to me. And she was so fucking cool and strong and powerful. And just the fact that these American artists, that we had a chance to see them. Because I know I bitch too much about this, but I'm very concerned culturally for the future. You know what I mean? Because we don't put that emphasis. The fact that we really don't even have famous writers that people pay attention to. Like I said, there's no one who filled in where, let's say, Norman Mailer or Hunter Thompson was. I mean, these were just people who only wrote and were incredibly well known for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to, I get concerned that we just put that part of ourselves behind, but at least we had the chance to experience it. But I do, the fact that he was with Levi, him playing Chuck Yeager.
Yeah.
In that movie where he's just amazing. Just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah, it's weird to think he had an acting career that he kind of was like, well, I could do this for money. And he was killer at it. You know what I mean? He was so effortless as an actor. And I think it kind of had to do with it wasn't his first and foremost passion. And to just crush it, he was really, really always so powerful and effortless the way he handled his roles.
I always remembered this thing that I had read, just a line of his in a Rolling Stone interview years ago. And I'm going to paraphrase, but he said that he had to fight off despair every morning. You know what I mean? There was just something so great about that thing that really takes you a while right, to get going, but to recognize it. Because I think those kind of things happen to all of us.
Sure.
And we don't recognize it. You know,
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I'm in a bad mood. But they don't know why. But there has to be some kind of reason behind it, even if it just means you need to take the shit. You know what I mean? You just need more fiber. But the fact that you don't know why you feel the emotions that you do. Sometimes I think of how many times I'll snap at somebody that has nothing to do with anything that's happening right now, where you say, not right now, motherfucker. You know, it's like, where'd that come from? Who knows? You know what I mean? You revved up about something. I think this is, you know, and we'll throw the gauntlet out there, but we're losing the kind of artist that it just seems to be irreplaceable. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if you've ever seen any of these babies that are walking around here. There's not a fucking Sam Shepard in the bunch. I mean, these fucking babies are bringing nothing to the table. Nothing. Here's the playwright. You gonna be a playwright? You gonna fucking blow us away?
What am I, a baby?
Yeah, and the amount of people who got their starts and, you know, in those off-Broadway plays that were so fucking powerful back then.
Yeah.
Very, very, there's just so much shit flying around that it's very fucking hard to find, you know, a little piece of gold in the middle of a shitstorm. It's there. It's just harder to find. Anyway, that's the depressing human nature of life. Grab your moments. Grab the moments you have. This is your time, Vito. You're going to fucking create something beautiful as an intro to a fucking dumb radio show. Enjoy it.
Okay.
Make it fucking shine.
I will. And I'm going
I want you to listen to that fucking Eminem 8 Mile fucking soundtrack.
Yeah. Lose yourself?
Yeah. Just over and over trying to fucking come up with your opening. And Chris, you just fucking do the same thing you always do. Have a line of fucking comics say the same, you know.
Yeah.
I like the show.
I do like that this was all leading up to Vito. You have to make this intro the buried child of intros.
Yes, this is your buried child.
I mean, I'm just gonna be in here with a hoodie, just listening to Eminem, just focusing, and I'm gonna put out the best material there is.
You only have one shot.
I don't know. If that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what does. Bob Rossfan wrote to us that schools don't teach this type of writing. I just ordered a 15 playbook of his. Sad to think I found out too late. I'm in a new thing that I'm starting to believe that we introduce classic things too early to kids. Like maybe 1% of kids are really moved by some classic stuff. And then there should be a thing like, this is the stuff that you should read when you're 25 or 30. Because the other kids are going to find it if you want to. You know what I mean?
The kids who are like already ready and...
Yes, they're going to find it. But I guarantee you, when I read, like, even Moby Dick, I should have probably waited fucking 10 years.
I know that that's the case because I read Moby Dick in college and I was feeling like if I had read this in high school, I would have been like, oh my God, this is long. I mean,
big fish, so what? I already saw Jaws. I'm going to do one more Sam Shepard story that I love and then we'll stop being depressed for a second. But really, I'm just depressed now, but celebrate. You know, celebrate that a person like that existed. It's got to give you some kind of hope for humanity. But, you know, his dad was an alcoholic and, I guess not overall good guy. I mean, it's hard to be a good guy when you're an alcoholic. But there was some fucking play, you know, one of his plays, I wish I could remember, but I don't. But of course, like with all playwrights, based somewhat on his life. And they were doing it in this small theater in the Southwest somewhere. I'll say New Mexico, but it could have been anywhere. And Shepard's dad was there and came in to watch his son's play and was fucking yelling shit at the actors, you know.
Oh my God.
Just fucking yelling like, you try to fucking be married to a woman that's You know what I mean?
I think it's probably Curse of the Starving Class. Yeah.
It may have been.
Yeah.
It may have been. But was just like yelling back. And Sam just thought it was fucking fantastic. He was like, that had to be one of the greatest nights in theater. You know what I mean? And it also reminded me when I read that of like in Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
That play where no one's laughing except for the person who is.
Right.
The fucking terrible person in the play, and he's just fucking getting a big kick out of it. Oh. Do I need to break, Chris, or am I cool?
We're cool for right now.
Then Joe Coy on Mass.
That's happening next Wednesday, August 9th at 1 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios. You go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets to Unmasked with Joe Coy.
Joe Coy, live from Seattle on Netflix. I heavily recommend that. And he's also hosting Inglorious Pranksters on Laugh Out Loud, Kevin Hutt's streaming service, which launches August 3rd. It will not be launching with our friend Dan, which I kind of think could be the best thing that happened to Dan. By the way, I know a lot of people think I own the name Impractical Jokers, but I think I'd be sending a little cease and desist to Inglorious Pranksters. Just a little too fucking close. I know they're probably ripping off Inglorious Bastards, but still. But still, you fucked us all in the mouth now. What was the thing that Joe Coy went to? He went to one of the Super Bowls with his son and it all turned bad?
The Super Bowl 2 years ago when Seattle lost to the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
But 3 years ago.
And he was a Seattle fan?
Yeah, he's from Seattle.
Him and his son were so happy, and then that game ends with that stupid fucking pick.
I think he dropped like $8,000 or something on ticket.
I mean, that's nothing these days for a fucking Super Bowl.
That is heartbreaking, though.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at 2 tickets mid-level for the McGregor fight. Mid-level.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
2 tickets, $100,000.
What?
Now, and I was talking about this with Spencer yesterday, you have to walk down and get your own food.
What?
That's, you would expect for those prices.
A buffet of some sort?
Is that pronounced buffet? I've been calling it buffets all these years. God damn it.
It's buffet.
I just realized I said that once to Princess Diana, the people's princess. I go, where's the fucking buffet, tall girl?
It shows you what a nice person she was. She didn't correct you.
Called me a wanker.
Oh, come on. That's not nice.
I said, did you say wank her? Because I'll fucking do it. Then we both had a laugh. And then I said something, and I wish I did that. I go, spit in my mouth. She goes, kiss you? I go, nope. Spit in my mouth. Los Angeles is going to host the 2028 Olympics.
Nice.
Can't wait. It's
going to be amazing.
Trump will still be president with all his generals around him to take over. What did they have? The 84 Olympics? Yeah, 84 Olympics.
I think one in the 30s too.
Good call, Chris. Good call. What was the first U.S. city to host the Olympics?
Chicago?
Nope.
Shit.
I believe it was St. Louis.
Wow.
I had that on Trivia Hive the other day. Missed it, as a matter of fact, but I thought to myself, put that little nugget in your head. Maybe it'll pop out on air one day.
And so it did.
Band on the run. Let me see how you feel about this story. Oh, by the way, I think it's crazy to go around the country building all these stupid Olympic villages.
Yeah, it is.
I've got a solution.
Okay.
Athens, Greece, we all buy the stuff. We all pay for the upkeep. We go there every 4 years.
Love it. I think it's very smart.
And we also have to sacrifice to the gods.
What? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Human sacrifice.
She just ripped off that what. That what is copyright.
What? No harm. Einstein, did you?
I'm going to go back and listen to that.
Fuck, it was so funny.
State of the industry. Band on the run. So anyway, yeah, that's my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to follow it though, like all my ideas.
No, I think that's.
Put it with smoke pants. Nobody's going to do it. Fuckers.
I mean, the amount of money that was just wasted in the last one, and then just shit gets left behind.
It all just falls apart. Same
because there's nothing else to do with that stuff that they built.
But also just think about the security concerns that go into each one of these. And here you could have a place that you were like,
it's already secured. Yeah,
you could have it secured all the time. Plus, Greece needs the help. Oh, there's an article up on the iBang I'm fucking fascinated with. I'm trying to figure it out. It's a little over my head. But the ancient Greeks did not see color the way we did. They said they were surrounded by so much sea that they had all these other different things. Like they seemed as shimmering, right? Mm-hmm. How it reflected off the sea was some versions of blue and green.
Interesting.
And it seems like they had zero interest in yellow. Like yellow didn't mean a lot to them. They didn't bring it up.
So they have red though. And like the predominant like red.
There's red, white, black. I forget what the other ones were. They actually say that, but here's the only way that I could kind of understand it. If somebody knows what the fuck I'm talking about, or could go and read this and call us tomorrow with it. What's the name of the article, Chris?
Ancient Greeks saw color differently than we do.
Thank you, Chris. But they've figured this out. Even Nietzsche had written about it, but I had never heard it.
Yeah, so they're like
I don't read a lot of Nietzsche. I don't want to put a belt around my neck.
So they're placing this on like the art that was of that time plus
the language,
the way that they were describing things, and the limited amount of color, like the way they're viewing sea and sky is nothing like the way we viewed.
They really didn't have like, oh, the sky is blue and the sea is blue. Now, if you think about it, we're the ones limited, right?
Right.
Because the sky and the sea aren't the same fucking color, or else you'd look out at the horizon and just be like, what is this? Are we in some kind of a bowl-like thing? But, so we're the ones that have less, definitive of that, and theirs had to do with this, but and maybe Justin will know about this because they always said that the native Eskimos or Nanook or whatever you would call it would have so many different names for snow, right? Now, when I was a kid, I heard that like, what dopes? But now you think about it, yes, if you're surrounded by snow,
you're going to get into
you're going to notice the difference, and the detail is going to happen,
right?
Yeah, it wasn't just snow; it was also clouds and like weather, like. The language just comes alive when it comes to describing things we see all the time that we just kind of take for granted.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Because they interacted with it more.
They interacted with it more. We don't think it's that big of a deal. If we were going to be totally honest, the color of, like we have like green, and like there's ways of breaking it down that, you know, with the but you know, when you're looking at a forest, you're seeing like how many different shades of green, but we don't even make a big deal of it.
Right.
Probably 100.
I think that was one of the things in the ancient Greece is that the word that they used to describe the color of human skin is the same as what they would to describe plants. So they're maybe seeing like green as like tans and browns.
They thought that we were plant people.
Yeah, I mean, like, that the color was, like, not much different. I think there was some detail in that where it was, like, they were picking up details on other colors that we would just say, oh, this is all of the same, and then less detail on other things. It's really strange.
Wow. I don't even fucking get that.
It's really, really bizarre. Because if you start to think about the way people perceive color even right now, like the idea that you could perceive color differently than I do and then Chris does, but we're all saying we see the same shade and we call it the same name, but visually, if you were to see through someone else's eyes, it would look different, which is just weird to think of.
Yeah. I know yesterday I was walking here in the lobby, through our lobby, and I saw Jen in the lobby, and then I got closer, and it didn't even remarkably look like Jen at all. My eyes were so fucking bad. And I almost yelled out, Jen! Like a dick. And everybody in the lobby would have turned and started stabbing me.
Well, the one color I always think about that is the color yellow. Is when I hear people, like, it's a very common color where people say it's like their least favorite color and they don't like the color. And even as a kid, I was like, I'm not saying it's the best color, but I really don't understand why so many people go, oh, yellow's not a nice color. And I'm like, are they seeing something visually different than I'm seeing? Because when I think of yellow, I'm thinking like how many flowers are yellow? Like I don't, like things in nature are yellow. I don't find them to be ugly. So I always wondered, like, are they seeing something that is in their eyes like discord, where I'm seeing something that I'm like, yeah, that's really pretty. I don't know.
And it's the color of corn or maize. Justin would call it.
Yes.
He's always saying to me, do you have any maize? I'm like, Justin, I don't understand you. Do you have a human word?
I went to the movies and he asked for pot maize, and it was kind of embarrassing.
When I think of stuff that Justin's people didn't have a word for, like wheel or medicine
or gun.
School, gun, shoes. Why no wheel, Justin?
Ants, really?
Because sleds are better in the snow.
Really? You told that to somebody with a fucking outdoor, what do you call those things?
Tractor?
An outboard tractor. Come on, dude.
You're trying to help him, weren't you, Chris? Come on.
You don't have to, like, an all-terrain is where I was going.
ATV.
Snowmobile?
Stop with snowmobile. This dope just fucking tried that a second
Listen
ago.
to the show, Vito, all right? I'm throwing out all these wrong answers.
Yeah, that's his role. Your role is having a giant fucking headband that, quite frankly, is sexually uncomfortable. Chris already did fucking buying into the corporate structure of we're putting in robots because you workers are too downed out. That's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life. And the figure that you're out there carrying the corporate flag lets me know that money has changed you.
Yeah.
$3.7 million.
I signed a confidentiality agreement and I can't talk about anything.
I wish you would never talk about anything. I wish you would go mute. High society. By the way, Kate Berlant on your show, so fucking good. Gail Meets Girls.
Yeah, it was a really great episode and really fun. She's hilarious to hang out with.
She's kind of brill.
She's
kind of brill.
She is.
I gotta watch the show. What's that other show you said?
Characters.
I gotta watch that. No one ever brings up anything for me to watch.
I do, just now.
Yeah, you gave me Characters, and Liz gave me that Ozark Mountain Daredevils that I love so much.
And thus you passed on to us. Thank God.
I gotta watch that second episode.
It's really good.
Well, first episode was really good.
Watch 2 episodes, because I'm watching 3 tonight.
All right, fine.
So.
Fine, I'll watch 2.
Thanks. It's a nice thing. It's not aggressive. He makes everything aggressive. I'm saying something nice to him.
Yeah, I know. You kids fight. I'm going to turn this car around.
No, on, please. No. We want to go to Wally World.
No vacation this year.
We're so gay.
So gay.
I'm not going to get anything because we got a guest coming by, right?
Yes, we do.
I'll wait for him then.
We have some live reads to do.
Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Give me that live read. That what? Give me that, believe that big ass live read. How?
Don't you wish you could watch your favorite primetime TV shows without commercial interruptions?
Mm-hmm.
Dish has got you covered. Now, with the auto hop from Dish, you can watch shows recorded with primetime anytime, commercial free.
Watch the most popular shows on your favorite networks without wasting time sitting through commercials. The season finale of your favorite show just got better with the auto hop from Dish. No more waiting through those long TV commercial breaks. Just get back into enjoying the action because only Dish is tuned in to you.
To learn more, call 1-844-CALL-DISH, go to dish.com or visit a local retailer near you. Requires credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Taxes and surcharges not included. Other restrictions apply. For full details, call 1-844-CALL-DISH. Dish tuned in to you.
I got a new brilliant idea I think could make us a ton of money. Looks like Chris Stanley could be a giant investor. It's a TV that pops corn, right?
Okay.
Guess what? It shoots the corn right into your mouth.
Okay.
So you're just with your clicker, pop. But, you know, each thing that you hit, another pop will come out. Another pop of corn, right? Now, there's also going to be caramel settings for the people who like that.
I like it.
And another little button for M&M peanuts. But careful with that. It'll go shooting right down your throat.
I mean, when you say careful, it sounds like I don't have a lot of control over this machine. What can I do to be careful?
I say keep your throat open as big as you can. Like keep your throat, like you're deep throating it.
Right. And not your windpipe. Close that off.
Will it be hot caramel?
What's that?
Will it be hot caramel?
Caramel?
Can I tell you something?
That's a cab company here in New York City.
I've never said caramel.
It's on the seventh.
People say caramel and caramel, but no one says, what did you say? Caramel.
I said caramel.
Caramel.
Well, good. You're inventing new words.
I mean, we already have two options that are very confusing. Which
Don't
one
you
you're
hate when you
supposed to
come
do?
up with a good idea? People start to get specific on you.
Is it hot? Are the M&M's cold?
I never asked if the M&M's were cold.
But you were inferring it, Vito. You were fucking inferring
I wasn't.
You know what you try to do? You try to take somebody's invention and attack it until they give up.
No.
Well, guess what? You succeeded again.
No.
I'm not even fucking doing this. I'm ripping up the fucking paper.
No, we want this.
I hate this. And I hate you.
I know you hated it.
No, I love the idea.
Oh, look who's the big man now.
You think I don't want to eat popcorn all day long and M&M's? I'd love it.
Hey, Carla, what's up, darling? Carla.
Carla?
Carolo.
Carmel.
Well, either I'm fucking up or you fucked up, baby. I don't know. John in Ohio.
Hey there, Ronnie B.
Hey,
Just want to know. Hey, just want to know how Fez handled the tropical storm there yesterday.
Well, for Fez, it was more of a topical storm. It just got the outside of his skin. So no break, right, Chris?
Oh, we should break.
Jesus Christ, when I asked for a break before, I couldn't. Now that I don't want a break, you fucking want me to. So it's just not fucking Vito for trying to fucking kill me. It's also you.
Carmel.
Stop.
This is the stupidest prep I've ever seen. All right, let's break. We're back. Vinnie Brand is here from the Stress Factory. Vinnie Brand is performing Thursday, August 3rd at the Helium Comedy Club in Philly. Go to heliumcomedy.com for tickets. Twitter is at Vinnie_Brand. Right back, Bennington.
Bennington is back with Vinnie Brand. Vinnie's performing this Thursday, August 3rd at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. HeliumComedyClub.com for tickets. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie_Brand.
Vinnie, good to see you, buddy. Last time I saw you late at night in Montreal.
Very late at night, and that was the first time that we've laid eyes on each other.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Now, you're with Keith Robinson, and Keith was demanding that you get up early and drive him back, or he would take the plane. And then I heard the next day, hey, I saw Norton and Keith having breakfast together at the airport, and I started cracking up.
Well, let me tell you, Keith's a very good friend when he needs a ride. And here's the funny part about Keith. So I ran into him on Thursday night, and he goes, hey, Vinnie, great to see you. I'm driving home with you. That's exactly how he opened up the conversation. So I said, okay, now, look, my wife and I are driving up there. We don't get a lot of alone time. We have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And I said, all right. I love Keith. It's like, okay. Now I go up to my wife at like 3, 4 in the morning that morning. I go, hey, I'm back. And by the way, we're driving Keith Robinson home. So she goes, okay, no problem. Now Keith tells me that not only is he going to jump in my car, but we have to leave by 7. I'm like, Keith, you don't get to ask for a 7-hour ride and then dictate the time I drive. So we went to dinner that night at a crappy little place. And we're walking back. He goes, all right, we're going to be on the road at 7, right? I go, Keith, I don't know. It's probably 9. At 10, I get a text message. If we're not moving right now, I'm just going to the airport. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing you a favor. And so he went to the airport. I'm like, you do this favor for me now, or I refuse to let you do it.
So funny. He's the funniest human in the world. He's just so funny.
He is.
Now, you're going down to Philly. But you don't often go out on the road, right? It's
I don't. I go on the road, but I do a lot of corporates, and I do the road when I want to.
Right.
I got kids, and I really want to be home. I would prefer, and I think it would be better, if everyone would just come to where I am, and I'll do a show. I'll discount the tickets.
Yeah, right. Wayne Newton decided that many, many years ago. I'm staying here. Just come to me. Yeah. It is a much smarter thing to do.
It is much smarter.
Yeah.
I want to go out now. I'm going out now a little bit. But when I'm out, like if I went to Austin, Texas, and I did Cap City, and a great club. But the minute I landed, I called my wife and said, I'm coming home. And she's like, you can't come home. And I don't know if it's because she doesn't want me home or she knows it's bad for my career.
Why did you want to come back right away? What, is this being away from your comfort?
You know what it is? I have a little baby. And I have 6 kids. So I have a 31-year-old all the way down to a 4-year-old. And when I was a younger guy and had kids, I was with them all the time. And I'm just aware now that I will not have another baby unless I kidnap it. And so, I
gotta make this one count.
Yeah, gotta make it count, right?
Now, do you think you did a better job when you were a young dad or an older dad?
Older dad.
Yeah.
Older dad because, I had my first kid when I was 22, and I had no money, and I was in a relationship that was awful. She didn't like me, and I was, of course, wonderful. But you have no money, and there's things you just don't know too.
Right.
And I tell people it's much better to have children when you're older. Like now, I have my last baby at 50, and it's just a different perspective. I mean, when I'm with my 4-year-old, I see it differently. Even my wife, who's 10 years younger than me, who looks 20 years younger than me. I wish she had met her. She's beautiful. I'm saying that because she's, listening in. And it's even her. I say to her, get that picture. And she'll go, we don't need every picture. I'm going, yeah, you will. You'll want every one. So, we're playing on vacation. We're on vacation, and we're playing volleyball with an inflatable balloon. She's 4, and she scored a point against my 17 and 14-year-old. And then she goes, suck it, bitches. And my wife got upset. I'm like, no, you don't understand. That's the best thing you've ever heard that kid say. It's,
yeah, right.
So I think I'm better as an older dad. I enjoy it more. I enjoyed it always. I'm better at it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's always funny, too, because, you never know. I'm sitting here next to my kid, but you never know how you're perceived. Anyone who ever says, hey, I'm a good dad, you don't know. That's something you just don't know that at all. But I think when you're younger, at least you have more energy and, but then older, yes, you do have more money and you have the chance to think before you speak, although I haven't yet, but I hope to one day.
Well, yeah, it's funny. So a young friend of mine just had a kid. And the baby's 2 and the baby's crying. And he's going, I just don't get it. I'm going, well, it's because you don't understand. That kid can't say the words.
I can't imagine, right?
Right. You're not, the kid's communicating with you. You're not crying because they want to ruin your meal. Something's wrong. He shit his pants or something's going on. Yeah. So find out what's going on. Don't get angry.
Well, they even say now with babies, leave them to cry until they pass out in the middle of the night. I'm like, no.
No, yeah. No. Those are all of those kind of parenting things. It's such a hot conversation because some people feel like, oh yeah, let them cry it out and sleep. And other people are like, that's really, really bad, like the psychologically really bad. But yeah, I always think about sometimes you watch like a little kid on a restaurant or on an airplane and they're just like uncomfortable and they're just crying and you're just like, oh, that's what I do inside. Like that's all, that's the only difference.
Right.
But sometimes when you hear like a little kid being like, I just want to go.
Yes.
And you're like, me too.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Finally someone said it.
I want to make that noise right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes I will let a baby cry for an hour, but that's usually when the baby is a comedian in the green room who's unhappy with some bullshit.
Yeah.
So get him crying out in the green room. Get him gripped.
Do you think there's something to that? Because the one thing that we can agree about, funny people are narcissistic, I think.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me how, no matter what age, it's still like, why didn't I get that is the number one thing that can, you know, if you hear about somebody else who, someone says, well, I can't believe I don't get to host a late night talk show. And you're like, 3 people in the country do. It'd be like saying, I can't believe I didn't hit the lottery. I play it every day.
It's, you know, listen, the disease, this is a subject I talk about a lot. The disease is spread because when an agent or manager signs you, and I'm not slamming agents or managers.
Right.
We all need them. But when they sign you, they fill you up with, well, you're fresh, you're innovative, you're this, you're that. And you start to believe that talent is the only deciding factor in what you get. Mm-hmm. And talent, of course, is very important. But, you know, I have to say like this, if I could go on stage and go to the bathroom and make 5,000 people want to pay $50 a head to see it, I'd have the top agents in New York going, have you seen Vinnie Brand take a shit?
Right.
But, you know,
they don't care.
Right. So the comic believes that I'm this talented and therefore I should have it. Mm-hmm. And that's why that's my opinion on why that happens. And, you know, listen, it's a business. It's a grind. You know, we had Lopez last night at the club. I went to bed at 6 a.m. I got up at 10 to be here on time. Now, I'm thrilled to do the show. Yeah. But there's no part of me doesn't understand this is a business. You can't just call Bennington and say, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
You gotta go do the work.
Yeah, it is a business. And just because even if you do that part of it and the creative part doesn't mean that it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, if I thought of the funniest person, I think it was 2 nights ago, I was just watching old Albert Brooks clips over and over and over. Funniest son of a bitch that ever lived. Where Carson's going, this is the funniest person ever. And yet, I bet there's a giant part of this country that's never heard of him, blah, blah, blah. Even the people that we think are the funniest, a lot of people haven't heard of.
Oh, listen, you know, for what it's worth, Brian Regan, who has a great career, you don't know Brian Regan the way you know Kevin Hart. They're both very, very funny. I mean, and I'm not saying Kevin Hart shouldn't be a superstar. He should be. But boy, oh boy, shouldn't Brian Regan also be the guy that everybody's talking about Brian Regan or that other guy, Vinnie Brand?
Yes. It should be Regan and Brand right now, number 1 and number 2. Chris, you don't want to plug anymore? Or you just feel like Vinnie doesn't deserve a plug?
All I want to do is plug Vinnie. Vinnie Brand from the Stress Factory. Vinnie's performing this Thursday, August 3rd at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. Go to heliumcomedy.com for tickets. And his podcast, The Comics Tale, is available now on iTunes.
And he, of course, had the Stress Factory since when? Like early 90s, right?
91.
91.
Opened up in 91. I had, the story is really fun. I don't have time to tell it now. We need hours. But the short of it is that Rascals was where I did my first open mic with Jim Florentine. Norton came shortly thereafter, and a bunch of guys. And I decided to do an open mic on Sunday night in New Brunswick. I was up in that area. And because of that, the guys at Rascals, who I love them all now, but at that point they blackballed me.
We're doing an open mic somewhere else.
We're doing an open mic on a Sunday night, and they went out of their way to blackball me and call the clubs in New York, and I was just not welcome because they said he's competition. Now, our open mic was a $5 cover charge to Rutgers kids.
Yeah.
We took the door and we cut it up evenly amongst everybody. And it was about being on stage. It had nothing to do with making money. So, you know, and I had 3 kids at the time and a failing marriage. I was getting divorced, and I thought, man, what a better time than this to enter into a field where you just can't make a living. And so I opened the club in 91 in a Clarion hotel. Moved it to a Hyatt, and then moved in 94 to the building I'm in now. And the rest is, it's such a fun story to tell, but it really, someday I'm going to write the book because a lot of funny, amazing things. When we opened up, no one would work for us, because
Rascals.
I was blackballed and they're like, don't work there. And the first two guys that broke that, were Dave Attell and Ray Romano. And, I don't see Ray, and we were very good acquaintances. And he is everything you think he'd be. He's the nicest guy. And Attell, of course, is the greatest guy. And I remember clear as the day calling Roy Rosegarden and begging him to let me have Ray Romano. And finally Ray did it and Attell did it. And
was Roy worried about the other club, or did he go, look, I'm putting my guy wherever he can get money?
They were, listen, Attell wasn't a big known headliner in 91. He was a force. People knew he was going to be phenomenal. And he was phenomenal then. And Ray was, when I saw Ray the first time, he was middling for George Wallace. And clearly he was going to be a headliner. I didn't impact on that journey at all, except that I said to Roy Rosegarden, look, Rascals is still middling him. I'll headline him. Like right now. And so I think that's what broke it down.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And George Wallace, very funny. I saw Ray 3 or 4 times that week. I liked it so much. And he handed me his card. I dialed the number so much. The number was 516-487-0872. That's how often I dialed the number. I'll never forget it. And Ray, he's funny, affable, nice, we got to be, like I say, acquaintances. And one night I'm at Catch a Rising Star in New York City. The band is almost over. I'm sitting at a table. I'm going to watch Ray's set. And a guy comes in and sits down next to me, and he goes, this guy's really good. And I go, yeah, he's good. Shh. And the guy talks again. And like 3 or 4 times, I'm telling the guy, listen, be quiet. The guy's working. Catch was a small room.
Yeah.
So after the show, Ray Romano comes up and goes, hey, what did Robert Morton say? And I go, who's Robert Morton? He goes, that guy at the table with you is the booker for Letterman. I go, I told him to shut up 7 times, so I don't know what he said.
He's literally the guy who changed Ray's life.
Yes.
He puts Ray on stage. They hook him up with the right showrunner. Letterman likes him, said we ought to do a show. He was with the perfect showrunner. And then whatever that likability thing is, the people at home are like, I like this guy and I like this show. It's just unbelievable how that can happen.
And Ray, again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm best buddies with him, but if I saw Ray tomorrow, he's just that guy. Hey, Vinny, how are you? How's the club? How are the kids? He's just a great dude. And,
well, you've been the home club to a lot of people. Greg Giraldo was pretty much used you as the home club, right?
Yeah, Giraldo was there a lot, and Giraldo was on early, meaning, we were headlining Greg very early on, and that's a story that, that guy had just really gotten to the point where he would break and had broken, large. And it's not, I don't like to talk much about Giraldo because when that happened and how it happened was just such a tragic thing. And that last show he did was probably the best stand-up show. I mean, just an amazing show. And I walked him down to the hotel at 5:30 in the morning, and he was, a little bit out of it. And he said, did you record that show? And I said, no, I didn't record it. We only record if a comic asks. And he goes, I think that's the best show I've ever had. And that was the last show he ever had. And the next day was really hard. We were in the green room waiting for him to come in. They called us and said, listen, you got to come down the Hyatt. And he never, it was already done. He passed away the following Thursday, but the damage had been done. And we had exchanged text messages that morning at about 10:30 because I got up early. I get up early no matter what time I go to bed. And he was doing a recovery show that day in the city. And I texted him and said, hey, I want to make sure you're okay and up and moving. And he said, yeah, I canceled the show because the irony of doing that show would be too much. And that was the last time I really talked to him. But great guy. Good, brilliantly funny.
Brilliant comedian. I went back and watched a lot of his stuff recently. We're going to do something where we talk to people about him because, I don't, there's such a thing of keeping stuff alive. And, you know, as time goes by, you can forget some of the other stuff, but you got to keep that art alive. And I do that on MASH show where we sit down and talk about careers. And with Greg was always like, well, he's a New York guy. We can, you know, we'd always shoot for certain people, but then when we'd get light, we'd go and hit the New York guys. So he's one of the ones that I missed, and it always bugs me because I thought he was just brilliant.
Another really funny, fun guy to hang out with. Now, you know, I'm a Boy Scout. So when you saw me at 2:30 in the morning in Montreal, you obviously were. But that night I think I had half of one beer because I like to remain sharp. My career is so on fire that I can't afford to miss any opportunity. If a cab driver says, hey, we do my wife's wedding? Yes, I will. Yeah. So, but anyway, Geraldo was that guy that was he was a party guy. And that night at the club, he was so funny. He said, I'm going to go in the green room and smoke a cigarette. And, 40 minutes later, I'm like, I don't smoke any cigarettes. And I said, Greg, come on, let's go. And he opened the door to me because Vinny, you don't want to be in here. And he closed the door again. And, it was typical Greg Giraldo. But man, quick-witted and smart and funny and not afraid to tell you, hey, that bit was great. I do a bit on teachers and Greg Giraldo said, I'm never going to do a teacher bit because that's the best one. And it wasn't a guy that, I could do better than that. He could give it to you. Whereas Patrice O'Neill, Jesus could pop into the room and go, man, Vinnie Brand's funny. And Patrice would go, ah! Yeah. With that gigantic head of his. Patrice would never give you the compliment. You get a compliment from Patrice. Would you sign that, please? I just want to prove to people. Yeah. So, another great guy.
Chris, you unplugged?
Oh, yeah, Vinnie Brand from the Stress Factory. He's in the studio. Vinny's performing this Thursday, August 3rd at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. You go to heliumcomedy.com for tickets. On Twitter, it's at Vinny_Brand. And his podcast, The Comics Tale, is available now on iTunes.
Now, you were saying book one day, though, right? I mean, you've got stories. You've got amazing stories.
I got amazing stories.
Yeah. And you know what is funny is like you start in this life because you kind of want to avoid responsibility or you want and you don't realize at the end of after, decades of doing this, you're like, oh shit, this has been a fascinating life. You know what I mean? You've met some of the most brilliant people of your times.
I hung out with Jenny. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, just the guys that we hung out with, that things happened. We had Mitch Hedberg at the club one night, and Hedberg used to do a thing where he'd turn his back to the audience and do lean-up comedy. And it was a bit he would do, 4 or 5 minutes. But at my club one night, he did it, and he leaned up against the wall and did the whole show without looking at the audience. And at one point in the show, he's going, hey, you in the front row. No, not you. The other guy I cannot see. People eat out of his hand. But the thing I like, for one of the reasons I like our story is that one, we were blackballed. But when I opened the club in its current location, I was living in a boarding house and I had just gotten divorced. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a phone. I had nothing. A friend of mine, Ricky Harris, who I just saw him yesterday, a longtime friend of mine, let me live in his boarding house for $300 a month. I couldn't pay the rent. And people say to me, well, you really did well. And I'm like, listen, it was not an act of brilliance. It was pure survival. I mean, we guerrilla marketed. I hung signs on telephone poles. At the time, we were working. Everyone said they work hard. We were working 21 hours a day. Now, when I started dating the woman, now my wife, we would be sitting at dinner. And when I was talking, the conversation was brilliant and funny. And then it would be her turn to talk. And I would fall asleep. And she'd get mad at me. She'd go, you're falling asleep when I'm talking. I go, listen, I'm up 21 hours. You got to amp your game up. I can't stay away from this dribble.
All right, so look at the names he mentioned. Geraldo. Yeah. Patrice.
Hedberg.
Rich Jenny. Do you know anybody who lived? There's something happened at the Stress Factory. This is going to be a horror book at the end of the day.
Let me tell you about Henny Youngman. I was working with Henny Youngman. There's been some brilliant guys. Some of the guys that you really just love and you want them to pop gigantic. Yeah. And they're not they're big and they're well known. Tom Papa.
Yeah.
Just a great guy. Jim Brewer, who's really popping now anyway. Very, very big. Yeah, we've worked with so many great guys.
But this is always what frustrates me about comedy. You brought up Richard Jeni. I knew Richard used to do my show in Florida all the time. So funny. Could do any TV show specials. But unlike other art forms, people don't go back to, you know what I mean? Like, we've got to do something about keeping some of these names and some of that content alive, because he was great, man.
Oh my, I say this in comedy, you have to keep writing, because no one wants to sing along the joke.
Yeah.
They'll sing Born to Run until they drop, but they're not going to sing along, and then the baby died. It ain't going to happen. And so you have to keep writing, right? And then, of course, because the industry is what it is, the styles change.
Right.
So sometimes I go back and watch a guy and go, wow, I wonder if that guy would even cut his teeth today.
It's always interesting to think of, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they would be funny enough. If they were younger, they would just adapt to the new thing.
Would it be a different style entirely?
Yeah. But, when people say something to me about Jay Leno, I go, I remember seeing Jay Leno in the 80s, and he just chopped it up. He was so brilliant and fast and strong. And I may be the funniest person I ever saw in a club, and they don't believe me because he adapted to a different style of comedy.
I saw Jay Leno live at one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
A machine, an absolute machine. I actually wanted to go see him. He was a couple weeks ago in town. He did the State Theater. I wanted to go. I couldn't. But, yeah, and Leno, I agree with what you said, which is, well, those guys were funny guys, and they were of their time.
Right.
So if they were of this time, they would just be...
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So, I think keeping alive the greats like Jenny. I'm going to go rewatch Pryor.
Right.
I never worked with Pryor, and never met him. But I want to go watch live at Sunset Strip or Richard Pryor in concert just to see, because I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to know, does it still work for me?
Well, one that, I know we had talked about was like Kinnison. Like, what would Kinnison be like now? Because his material is so different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you would wonder, would he be the same type? Would he have modified that character in any big way?
And you also don't know what effect that those people had on comedy.
Yeah,
so what now seems less like, when I first saw Sam, I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. And now when I go back and watch it, because some of it's really strong and some of it, he's just getting away with the fact that the people know him and they want him to yell. And Dice is the same way. It's hard to appreciate that people didn't walk on stage the way Dice did at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And when I talked to him, and he explained that he basically worked from the outside in, which I've never heard anyone else. Everybody works on material, and Dice worked on himself physically, and having that tension in the room to be able to be quiet and stare at the audience and smoke. And I'm like, that alone is brilliant, because you followed no fucking rule of comedy. There's no rule of comedy that you would make people say, why is he being quiet? You know what I mean? Why is he staring at us?
And then talking in a way that would seem to deliberately push them away.
Right.
Deliberately make them feel inferior and lucky to be there, and everything you think, well, gee, maybe that's not a great plan.
Jim Carrey was up at in Montreal. Again, it's hard to understand how shocking it was to see Jim Carrey, because he was so weirdly different. You know what I mean? He was so physical and strange. You can't go back and capture that moment again of being surprised by somebody. I remember I was in the late 70s. I'm dating a girl, and she goes, I just saw the funniest guy on TV. His name's Robin Williams. I'm like, funny? And she goes, funniest ever. You're crazy. Mork and Mindy was this gigantic show because nobody saw it coming. You know what I mean? And nobody had acted like that in history. Nobody ran around he was like a fucking cartoon, and people exploded over it.
Yeah.
And I only worked with him one time, not at the club in New York, and so fast, But when I worked with him, it was years after that, and he wasn't that different.
Yeah.
He was still that way. And another dead guy, Kevin Meaney, who...
The list of dead
This is
guys.
getting really sad.
Yeah, it is. It's sad.
It's really sad.
Horrible.
Kevin Meaney. Honestly, when I'm done with the show, you've got about 4 months left, Ron. So I saw Meaney one night at the comic strip. Now, you remember Meaney.
Yeah, of course.
Did you ever see him live?
Love him.
I've never saw him live, but yeah.
He used to work
great.
here with us. In the hall, he was just wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so explosive, over the top.
Yeah.
So it's late night at the comic strip. He's doing Hairspray. We all just did our spots. We're hanging out. And Meaney comes in. And there's like 8 people that have been there since 8 p.m. And they've seen a great lineup.
Yeah.
And now Kevin Meaney's going to do a spot. And I loved Kevin. So I'm going to go watch. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, man, he's going to come out there with that sugar rush. I wonder how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. He goes out. I'm a crazy person. Let me do it. I don't care. No, I got to tell you, 8 people have decided instantly that they would rather kill him than watch him. But he does not retreat. He does not retreat. And by the end of the show, they give him a standing ovation. 8 people on their feet because he just overpowered. He would never leave
That's amazing. Now, where do you even think that kind of drive comes from? Because
Meaney was nuts.
Yeah, he really was. And yet he'd be also like the sweetest person ever.
Yes.
Just the sweetest person ever.
We're
not talking about living comedians. It's very depressing. It's very sad. What is it, Chris?
I want to plug Vinny.
Who's gonna go to this death knell that he's taking around the country? This funeral dirge of a tour.
Vinnie Brand's performing this Thursday, August 3rd at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. Go to heliumcomedy.com for tickets. And his podcast, A Comic's Tale, is available now on iTunes.
And interestingly, my shows at Philly are from 2 to 4, 7 to 9. That's a wake reference. That's a reference to a wake.
All the Catholics are going, I get it. I get it. I don't even know if Proddies do wakes. Do they? They don't do open casket.
They don't.
I don't think they usually do.
Yeah,
Jews do not, and I think Protestants do not.
Jews do not do an open casket.
No.
Catholics love an open casket.
They love it. They love for you to climb right in.
I always say it's the hardest you ever work because you do 4 shows, 2 to 4, 7 to 9. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. And people are walking up and
everybody from the firehouse is going to be there.
At my mother's funeral, there's some guy I barely know him, and he comes up and he does all the, she looks good. And in your head, you're like, all right, you should have seen her last week. I mean, she was up and around. And he about 6 times, he said to me, I'm so sorry. And of course, it's nice to hear. But the 6th time, I said, you keep saying that. I go, did you do this? I need to say, move along. Someone else wants to say the same shit.
It's so funny. And that kind of culture is almost ending now. I remember being a little kid. I think it was a great-grandmother, and I remember them lifting me up to give her a kiss. And you're like a little kid kissing a dead body. And if you tell that to people today, they're like, they would see it as abuse.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I always say I want a big wake, but I've changed my thought on that now. I want an empty wake. I'd like to be at everyone else's funeral.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Great stuff happens at funerals. Funerals I do a really long, funny story about Angel Salazar at my mother's funeral. And it was just a moment where I'm like, Angel's another crazy guy. He's alive.
Yeah.
But I don't know how.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know how. But at my mother's funeral, he no-showed 3 days in a row. The wake. He didn't come to the wake. So 2 days in a row. And he kept calling me saying, I'm coming. Then he says, I want to come Sunday morning, or the Saturday morning rather, for the final viewing. I said, Angel, it's just a family. You can't come to that. And he goes, Vinny, I have to. I loved your mother. I want to come. And, Angel Salazar, I don't know if you know him. He's Chi-Chi and Scarface.
Yeah, he's great. He's just great.
5'1", hard womanizer, would come into this room and literally look at you, and in 7 seconds, he'd be like, "So, baby." Shameless. And so, but he never slept with my mother. I know what you're thinking. And he comes in on the Saturday morning with the family, even though I told him he can't. Comes in, it's August 1st. It's 100 degrees. He's wearing a 3-piece polyester blue suit. And he walks up to my mother's casket after the family had said goodbye. My sister didn't know him. And she goes, who is that little Puerto Rican fella at Mom's casket? I swear to God. I go, oh, that's Chi-Chi from Scarface. Now, there have been so many comics at the funeral, and my sister, who's still in shock, goes, oh, okay. I'm like, how the fuck did that make sense in your head? Well, then he takes a rosary bead off his neck, bends over, kisses my mother's hand, and wraps the rosary bead in her hand. Everybody in the room is bawling out. The funeral director was crying, and they normally only cry when a check bounces. Yeah. And I was really touched. And so we're carrying my mother's casket outside now, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm never going to laugh again. The hearse door is open. I close the hearse door. Behind the hearse door, Angel Salazar is looking into the car window, which is reflective because of the sun, and he is fixing his hair. My mother,
he goes from doing something unbelievably sweet.
Oh my God.
That is, that's such a great story.
I tell stories about my life on stage, and I like to tell people, listen, I've worked very hard to be very, very funny about shit that isn't necessarily funny. My father died. He had a heart attack. He had a stroke and then a heart attack. And my sister and I had to give a DNR. Do not resuscitate. You're too young to know this shit. Ron's very familiar. So we go in that was a Sunday morning. We're going to give the DNR. And I said, listen, everyone will go say goodbye to Dad. And then we'll issue the DNR. And then we'll pray for the best, but we'll be prepared for the worst. So my first sister goes in, my brother goes in, my other sister goes in, I'm going to go last. While my sister is talking to my father, he has a heart attack. Now, he's been asleep. He's in a coma. But he had a heart attack. Now, we did not give a DNR, so the nurses rush in and they're trying to save him. And he died. And we go outside. Now, everybody's crying hysterically. And my sister Michelle goes, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I was talking to me. He just had a heart attack and died. And my brother looks at her and goes, well, what'd you say to him? And we laughed so goddamn hard.
Vinnie Brand from the Stress Factory is in studio. He's performing this Thursday, August 3rd at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. Go to heliumcomedy.com for tickets. On Twitter, at Vinnie_Brand. And on iTunes, his podcast is A Comic's Tale.
Chris, we're talking here. I don't need you to come jumping in. I tells a beautiful story like that. And then there you are in commercial mode.
I know. Vinnie's father is dead, but he'll be performing. Have you been down to Helium?
No, I haven't.
I love the Philly crowd.
Yeah.
And I love that club. And I want Philly to come out. Listen.
Yes, it's a fun town. It's a great town.
Well, what I do after my show, I'm going to do this Thursday, is frequently after the show, I will invite the audience, as many as will come with me, to go crash a restaurant late night. The last time we were in, we brought about 70 people to a restaurant. Now, I walk up to the restaurant, the door, and I go, hey, you still serving? And she goes, we're closing in 2 minutes. I go, I just want one thing quick. And she's okay. And I go, all right, I got some friends with me. And it was 70 people. And we went in, and we stayed till like 2:30 in the morning. And she went from mad to happy because it was just such a good time. And we rang a lot of money. Yeah. So if you're coming to Philly, come to party because we're going to hang out afterward. You can party. I'm just going to sit there. They tried that night to slip me drinks, but I'm too smart. I don't want to get blasted out.
You never been a partier your whole life.
When I opened the club in New Brunswick, I'm divorced. I'm living in a boarding house, and I swore off women. I'd been dating a girl that we broke up, and it was a difficult moment. And I said, I'm done with women. They're too big a pain in the ass. And so in about February rather, a girl comes in for a job, and I hire that girl. And we started hanging out. And I wasn't dating her, but I really liked her. But every Thursday night, I was getting crazy, hanging out, having fun. And I was drinking scotch at the time. And we started dating. And I'm not proud of this story. And I've never told the story on air, but it is what it is. So we're dating, and I really like her. But every Thursday night, I'm getting bombed. And I still living in a boarding house. I had a futon and a stereo. And I went home one night after drinking too much. And I woke up around 10 in the morning, and I was very, very sweaty, but only in my groin area. I had pissed my pants in the middle of the night, and I said, man, there's no way in the world this girl's going to keep dating you if you wake up in a puddle of piss. And that night I said, that's it, no more. And I didn't have any trouble. I wasn't an alcoholic. I just was, Thursday night was the night to have fun.
One night to, Chris, isn't it funny how pissing the bed did not stop you on any?
No. That was fine.
Powered through those embarrassments
somehow.
Chris, where is your bottom?
There isn't one for him. It's like endless caverns. It just goes on and on. All right, Frank's got a question for you, Vinny. Go ahead, Frank. What is it?
You love the comedy, awesome interview right now.
He's great.
Quick question. Now that everything's so PC and the comedians take going to colleges, how are you going to start getting the younger audience at the clubs? I just thought, how do you change the guerrilla marketing to be, all digital and shit now versus what you were doing in the past, which is great, but how are you going to now get these faggots in the clubs?
All right, no. So what he's saying is, has your audience changed over the years?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of interesting. When we opened, it was what you would call a standard. It was a white club. We booked plenty of black comics, but the audience was very white. And over 26 years, the audience has become, it's the greatest audience because you go in and everybody's there. White, black, Indian, gay, straight, tall, short, everyone's there. Ages are across the spectrum. What's changed that's difficult to understand is how to get them in, which is, I think, of what he's asking, right? Mm-hmm. And so we've started really relying on social media and doing stupid things. I post Facebook videos. I put my wife on Facebook. I put one up yesterday, and we just started doing it. And we watched the hit count climb, and my poor wife just gets tortured in these videos, and people love these videos. Now, we have a significant budget for advertising, and we're out in almost every form of advertising, but I'll tell you, social media is what attracts younger people. And
isn't that crazy that if you run a radio or TV ad, they won't see it, but they will see a social thing.
I'll tell you the two advertising things I like the most. I put my face on a bus that goes around Manhattan. I'm in Montreal, and a comic comes up to me. She goes, hey, every morning I have coffee with you. I'm like, all right, this girl's a little batshit crazy. I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, your face drives by my apartment every morning.
That's hilarious.
and
because it's the same time every day that this.
It must be on a route.
Yeah.
And so we find billboards and stuff are effective, but TV and like a radio ad, the minute the radio ad goes on, they're flipping over. I believe this is the best format, and it's the most enjoyable because you listen and.
Right, you're not hard selling. You're just, yeah.
Yeah. And, breaking in to hear about Coca-Cola, which, right. So, we reach out through social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's the way to do it.
I saw this, they're doing some kind of Trump review show. What's that thing your mom is friends with the guys, the Triad Theater?
Yeah, the Triad Theater.
And it's a small room. It would be a small room if it was in the suburbs. And he's buying ads on CNN, and I'm like, really? Maybe they want to maybe the theater company wants to take this up a notch, and they think they got this, funny Trump review. But it's always surprising to me because, you're reaching a lot of people when you're buying local. New York is giant market to try to buy ads for.
Oh, it's an incredible market to buy ads. And, it's funny because now when you're buying an ad, they've got it so segmented because technology can say, hey, you want to advertise to Ron Bennington? Yeah. We can deliver an ad to his phone for you. It'll cost you $19, but Ron's going to see the fucking ad. We're going to make sure of that.
Yeah. Which makes me uncomfortable for what demo they think I fit into. Like I literally have looked for glasses and then noticed that glasses show up on any site that I'm at.
It's very eerie.
That's why, today you can't cruise the internet for porn because everyone's going to know because you're going to get porn ads nonstop. Hey, pervert!
Yeah. Anyone, by the way, who says I've got a virus in my computer. It's the only place it comes from.
Right.
It comes from no place else.
Nowhere else.
Yeah. And for years, we're all like, I wonder how come we've got to do this again. I guess now we know.
By the way, I like to do an experiment. All the time. I do it on every radio show. People think I'm crazy, but I don't care. If you want to call me and you're coming to the show in Philly, I'm going to give you my cell phone number. Now, I do this all the time, and my phone will literally blow up. And I answer all the calls eventually. If they call now, you're going to call 908-601-6976. Now, look, that's my number. People always call because they say, oh, who is he pissed off at? Whose number did he give out? No, that's my number. That's my number. And I do it, and it's a lot of fun to do, but sometimes it gets a little crazy. For example, I was doing radio in Michigan. I was doing a show at the casino there. And I give the number out, and some girl calls me up. She goes, hey, I heard you on the radio. We're going to hang out after the show. So I'm like, all right. Even if you're looking me up online, I'm not so good looking that you're going to throw yourself at me. So this girl is obviously crazy. So I go, well, after the show, I'm just going to go to my room. I have an early flight. And she goes, well, I'll go to your room. And I'm like, no, definitely not going to happen. They're not going to be dragging Lake Michigan for Vinnie Brand. I'll tell you that much. And she showed up at the show and she goes, are we going to hang out? I'm like, no, we just did. You saw the show. But it's fun to do. And I take the calls.
We got to end this, but dude, so much fun seeing you. We got to do this more, okay?
I'd love to do it.
It's been a long time coming. Chris, go ahead and plug away.
Vinnie Brand from the Stress Factory's been in studio. Vinnie's performing this Thursday, August 3rd at Helium Comedy Club in Philly. Go to heliumcomedy.com for tickets. On Twitter at Vinnie_Brand. And the podcast is A Comic's Tale, available now on iTunes.
And we're going to do this again. Thanks to our friend that was in here earlier,
Bridget Everett.
And
her film Fun Mom Dinner that comes out on video on demand and in select theaters this Friday, August 4th. And her other film, Patty Cakes, comes out in select theaters August 18th.
All right, that's it for us. See you again in 1974.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!